Yo, what's up, everybody? We're going to be starting here in about 23 minutes with Nic Chahine, all right? We're going to be starting 23 minutes. Make sure you have everything ready. We're going to start in about 20 minutes here, folks, with Nic Chahine, lead trader at the Benzinga Options Inner Circle. So we'll see you guys here in a few. Shout out to Mohammed, Trade, and Vadim. Shout out to Jake. What's up? All right, everybody, welcome to the session here. My name's Rodrigo. I'm going to be here with you today and with Nic Chahine, lead trader at the Benzinga Options Inner Circle chat room. Couple shout outs here: Andrea, Brad, Brandon, Charmaine. Let's see, we got a couple familiar faces. Mohammed, Monty. What's up, Monty? How we doing? Trevor, Will, Morse, Victor, Steven, Derek, Joe. All right, folks, good stuff. We have a nice crowd here today. So we're going to be in the chat. By the way, let me know when you guys are ready to start, when you guys want us to get things going here. But just to let you guys know, because you were asking where Nic was, he was in the live trading room with in the options inner circle chat room. So he's there all day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. And that's where he just got off right now. So it's all day. And there's also a session on Sunday, but that's where Nic was. But now we're going to pretty much be going over a couple topics with him: trade ideas, his formula, sector scoping, options education, setups for equities, crypto, commodities, buy, sells, charts, market discussions, a whole lot of stuff. And stick around. Make sure that you stick around until the end, because we're going to give you a real-time view of the Inner Circle live trading room with Nic and Q&A, live Q&A. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the man himself, Nic Chahine. Let's go.
Pew, 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 pew. Hello.
I think we have him here.
Let's see here. I can put myself on picture too, even though I look like hell. I need a haircut. I'm wearing a t-shirt.
I can't hear you for some reason, Nic.
Okay. I'm not sure why not. Can anybody else verify audio for me? Let's make sure. Okay, so it's on your end, friend. We don't need him. We don't need him.
Everybody can hear Nic? Okay. Yeah, it's probably...
Today was pretty painful for whoever was long. There were some things to do intraday. So the options markets are...
Hey, Nic, if you can, take over the screen.
Yeah. I can do that.
I'll log out and log back in, but just take over the screen there.
I got you. Okay. You guys can see my screen. I'm going to move this over here so I can have you in front of me. And I'll open the chat room. Perfect. All right, cool. So I'm going to just dive into it today. So I share my screen all day, every day. What you're looking at, 3 of these and 1 of these. And the room was full. Today we had 290, almost 285. This was yesterday. It was 274 at some point. I took a snapshot. They're looking at my screen. You can see it right here. And we had a couple of runs intraday. So that's different than investing for the long term. So literally it just popped up and I didn't answer because I was coming in here. Somebody said, thank God for the intraday setups, they're saving my account. So his active trades are saving his account from the standpoint of, the stock market is having a hard time stringing along 2 or 3 green days in a row, right? Because we have so many things that are scary right now. Everybody's crazy out of their mind. First crazy entity is the Fed. So this was a setup yesterday that was based on lines, and it was 4 different stints. So I said, okay, somebody can get long here. It did deliver. And I said, okay, now you can rinse and repeat from here. It delivered. Here. So 4 of them. This was the last one, I think. And that person got himself 230%.
Yeah, and really, I don't know if you went over this one, Nic, because I mean, the Netflix short. I mean, some people made 600. Mary Trades, an amazing, outstanding member there. She made like 600% on Netflix.
Right.
Puts.
So the Netflix short, which is caveat, 280 people in the room, 270 people. Everybody contributes. Everybody can contribute. We have a couple of dozen people that contribute systemically, like always. And one of the things I'm doing these days is before the report, I go through the earnings, the options, minutes before the close to give us a heads up on the body language. So the options markets tell the truth most often. So we looked at Netflix, and I said, okay, so why don't we, if somebody wants to bet on the Netflix earnings, why not use the QQQ? Because if Netflix rallies or falls, the NASDAQ is going to rally or fall with it. And this way, if you bet on the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ ETF, then you're not tied to one day. Because if you bet on Netflix alone, that opportunity comes and goes and you wasted your money maybe. Versus if you bet on the whole market. So I said, why not go along the NASDAQ and short Netflix? I suggested the very mild way of shorting Netflix as a hedge to the long on the NASDAQ. So that trade played out. But also in the chat room, a few people said, no, we're going to go aggressive short on Netflix. And they bought $290 puts. So if you know anything about options, those puts were thousands. The return was like, I don't know, 15,000%, 5,000%, whatever. It was thousands folds. So
well, here's the thing, Nick, I want to highlight, because you also do the live scalping, live trading, but you also provide what I would call, well, you call slowpoke, but I guess what's a little bit more consistent trades, right? For people that maybe have a full-time job or they're busy running a company, whatever, you have different setups for different types of people, right?
Yes, I try to cover the whole gamut. So I'm busy during the day. It's hard for me to try to chase these opportunities like minute to minute. I try every once in a while, I mess them up because I'm doing other stuff. So I prefer like Tesla falling 11% today or whatever it ended up falling. I prefer to make a month-long bet or a 3-week-long bet. So middle of the day today, I shared an idea. In all fairness, Tesla fell more after the idea. So if somebody took that trade, they're starting off on the wrong foot. But I like the level, and I have time to defend it and manage it. So, and it was a small bet. So yes, there is this room is open all day for anybody that wants to be in there, whether they want to trade fast or not. But I also share at least once a day, or about once a day, a full write-up with video. Like last night, I don't know, 7 o'clock Pacific time, I shared a video about a stock, Costco. I said, this is what I might do tomorrow. And then we came into tomorrow and I did something else. And I was like, okay, so here's the setup I discussed yesterday after the fact. So today I shared like 2 or 3 ideas with a video from last night and a write-up from today, follow up to the video and a write-up in addition to the video. So there's a little bit of everything. So here's the deal. The product that we offer through Benzinga now has evolved into several different layers. If you don't want to hear from me, you will never hear from me. You just see one write-up a day with a full video setup. Each video is a full lesson. Also, what you're seeing right now are all the lessons that are available right now. You log into your account on Benzinga. I have evergreen videos. So these are videos that are concepts that apply at any point in time. So if you're asking yourself, what the hell are options? I have what are calls, I have one for what are puts, what are spreads, what is the credit spread, what's the difference between the cash settled and non-cash settled, how to read my tables, how to close losers, how to book profits, how to protect, a whole bunch of videos. Iron Condors, I think
a starter kit, pretty much. It's like a starter kit. Like I know when I started trading options and I went through these videos, that cleared everything up for me individually, but and you keep adding more, but so, this is
we add more. Right? And what they provide is not just the basics. It just provides a platform from which you can come up with your own questions. So somebody might get the concept and come back, okay, so what if I take it a step further? Or somebody might fall short of getting the full concept. They'll say, well, I get most of it, but I'm still fuzzy about that one part. So my advice is if somebody joining new, jump into the videos. So where do you come back to me with questions? I'm not a black hole. So what I have is, I have a chat room, kind of like Slack, kind of like Discord. It's not. It's proprietary to Benzinga. They spent money and they're improving it. So it's basically a place for us to communicate. Like somebody today jumped in. I'm fuzzy as to where the DM, where the direct message. So I messaged him. It was Jim, I think. Jim C. Was it Jim C? Yeah, I think so. Or Steve C. I can't remember. So anyway.
So you have you have about 250 people there average a day, right? Live?
240 to 285. Today was 285, 286, 287, something like that. But no, this is separate, Rodrigo. So I'm still at the chat room where It's not a live room. There's a place where you can come to me instead of sending emails back and forth. You jump in, you're your own user, I'm there with you. It's like a whole new area for us to communicate back and forth without emails. So if you have a general question, you can ask me in open forum. If it's more private, you can send me a direct message. On top of that, follow. First, you don't have to be anywhere except get my emails and write-ups. Second, you can be in the chat room to discuss whatever, whenever, 24/7. Third, live room, that what you're looking at on my screen earlier. So Rodrigo still has that. I'll steal it away. Okay. I'm going to steal it back. This guy is the live room. This is the newest edition. This is where I have 280 people live every day, all day. I kid you not. They're there. They contribute. A lot of them are strong technicians. Now I have people that have a whole bunch of different styles of trading. Somebody likes candles. Somebody likes pitchforks. Somebody likes harmonics. Somebody just likes volume. I like levels. And we put it all together.
Yeah, I remember there was this one person that basically said, hey, Nick, I'm trying to do such and such type of trade. He sent you a screenshot and turned out he was doing a totally different trade. So you also help people kind of.
So forget that. Today, yes, I do help people. That's what I said. If you have a question about anything, the person that you're talking about needed to place an order to get out of Twitter calls and he was stuck. So he jumped in. I'm trying to close this order. Here's what it looks like. What am I doing wrong? That was one instance. The other one was weird. I can't remember, yesterday or 2 days ago, another situation where it was a matter of an order. How do I do this order to close it? They had a situation, I think they sold the credit spread and they didn't know how to close it quite right, or they wanted to be sure. Today, somebody was asking also specific questions about, they were looking to play the Microsoft earnings. And they said, how about selling a put and selling a call? Well, wherever they heard that or read that, that must be a market maker with a big pile of money, because I would never sell a naked call in this environment, not when you have read it. You know, the first rule of taking risks is knowing what the worst case scenario is, right? If somebody says, hey, you want to take that risk, you want to jump from here to there, what do you ask? How deep is it? If you don't make it, you want to know if you're going to survive. So why would you take a trade that could blow you out? Selling a call naked, take my word for it, opens you up to unlimited risk. As long as the stock is rallying, you're losing money. I know some of you say, I'll put a stop loss. Stop losses are not foolproof. You know, you set a stop loss. Most stop loss processes are, it's a dormant order. Price goes through your stop loss level. The order flips to live. What if you never get that tick again? Where is the next tick going to be? What if it's a hard to borrow stock? If you did DWAC yesterday, you probably couldn't stop yourself out today because there's not enough of stock to go around. GME, I bet you somebody got stuck and they got blown out. And I'm not talking like blow out an account. I'm talking like go bankrupt type of a deal. It probably won't happen, but I would never take a risk that could possibly make it happen. Like if somebody says, jump off of this cliff into this dark pool, I wouldn't jump unless I get guarantees that it's deep, right? What if they say there's a 1% chance it's not deep? Would you jump? Hell no, I would not. Not even 1%, because the mistake is deadly. I'm not chancing it. I'll skip it. Call me chicken. And I'm an aggressive guy. So knowing the maximum risk is paramount, in my opinion. So I discussed it with this gentleman, and I gave him alternatives. I said, I like the fact that you want to sell a put in Microsoft because you're willing to own the share. So if you want to sell a put naked, so be it. At least the maximum risk is you getting the stock at X level. I forgot the level they were looking at. Alternatively, instead of selling a naked call, why not sell a call spread? So then you're short Microsoft, but with finite amount of money. So worst case scenario, if it shoots to 1 million, you know exactly how much you could lose. That is a risk I can swallow. Combine the two, it's a well-balanced trade. So we modified whatever trade idea he got from somewhere into something that's more risk tolerant, not crazy risk. Anyway, defined risk. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, defined risk. So what is the point of our service? I'll give you a minute to think about it, and I'll tell you what I think. It's not the trade alerts. I do share trade setups, but the biggest benefit is the education. I'm not the best trader out there. I'm passionate about educating people at knowing the ins and outs of Wall Street. Even though I don't know, I'm not from Wall Street, I figured this stuff out on my own. So today we had a discussion about theta and how somebody was going deep down into what theta means. And they own a call. I'm going to say Microsoft. I can't remember if it was Microsoft, maybe Google. And they're discussing theta with me. I said, I would rather discuss delta, which is the odds of success. Who cares what theta is? I know time is running out. I've got 3 days left. Tell me what are the odds of success, and then I'll decide, okay, so my chances are 27% and I have 3 days to get it done. I don't like those odds. Let me restate. Let me take my risk and put it somewhere else. So we had that conversation about Greeks, even though I don't want to talk Greek. So I dumbed it down to plain simple English, and he got the concept. Hopefully he did the right thing. So the education piece is more beneficial in my. I wish I had that kind of a playground when I was learning this stuff. Nobody was doing options. Certainly nobody was selling options on my level. I was like the micro market maker from the original. When we did, here's news. When I started doing options, we had like 3 tickers, SPX, RUT, and they only had monthlies, and they were AM settled. And then we got weeklies. It's like, what? And then we got 20 stocks like Google, Microsoft, and all those. Wow. And then now we have like 1 billion.
Yeah.
Guess what we have now? Today, I don't know if you noticed, if you open the SPX, you had an extra contract that expires on Tuesday, today. That's new. That's never happened before. We've had one expires on Monday, Wednesday, and sometimes 2 on Friday. Now we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I know we have Friday. I don't know about Thursday. Next month, we're going to have every day, and maybe more than just the SPX. But the SPX was the first day today. You had an expiration. Oh, where did somebody sold? Where did it close? I'm curious. Somebody sold the credit put spread today.
Yeah, really quick, Nick. I just want to highlight there for the folks that are asking, like, where the education is. Not just the portal that I showed you with the videos, but every piece from Nick, every trade idea, every setup, every analysis will come with a full backdrop of education. So explaining the step by step, what he's doing, micro, macro, whole 9 yards, right, Nick?
Yes. So, for example, I'm trying to think of a ticker I just did recently, UAL. So the write-ups will have pictures, will have a video. I will walk through what it means to do this and what it means to do that. Okay, so here are pictures. So if I had the order, I have a picture of the order, what it means to do that side, what it means to do this side. So this is an order for an iron condor. I show a picture of the bearish side and the bullish side, and all I needed was nothing to happen. That was literally what the point was of this. I wanted to short UAL. That was the point. I wanted to fade UAL going into a prior fail. Nothing against the company, just the chart thing. So when a chart rallies into a prior failure, failed, and a pivot point, it tends to want to fail again. So I can assume it's going to fail. So since I don't hate the company, I said, okay, I'll short it by selling some risk above, meaning I give it room. It can rally a little bit more, but not a lot more. And I also take a bullish position, saying that I don't want it to collapse. I just want it not to rally too much. And the position would yield, that I shared, would yield 26 cents. So more than 25%, on risk in a short period of time. And all it needs is for UAL not to be up here and not to be down here in the next couple of weeks. That's it. I don't need a rally. I don't need a drop. I just need it to go ping pong in between those two. I think it was 60, and I can't remember on the lower end what it was, but it was like down here. So I guess we can look at it.
Right.
Here.
And I don't know if you want to look at Facebook, man. It's kind of worrisome, this company, man. This keeps, Are you looking at Facebook?
Here's the thing with Facebook. Fundamentally, it's on rails right now. The fear from Facebook stems from Netflix. Netflix broke the market last week. Why? It's the first of the FANG gang. So we have FANG, which is Facebook, Netflix, Amazon, and Google. Google has 2 tickers. Add to it Microsoft, Apple, and Tesla. So FANG MAT, right? All together, they're like 60 or 60% of the NASDAQ. They're heavyweights in the S&P. So 30% of the S&P more is reporting this week. They're all taking cues from Netflix. So what happened? Tuesday, Netflix reported. The reaction to Netflix was horrific, understandably so. There were margin calls. That's the direct impact, margin calls. So if I had a portfolio worth $1 million and Netflix was 30% of it, I just lost half of the 30% out of my portfolio. So if I bought stock on margin, the broker is going to say, buddy, your assets are no longer adequate. You need to cover that. So I am forced to sell whatever else I own to cover my Netflix loss. It's a substantial drop. What was it? $45 billion or whatever. So there was some selling because of it. On top of that, people extrapolated. If that happened to Netflix, oh my God, sell Facebook, sell everything that looks like Netflix, Snap, Disney, Roku, everything fell hard, right? So now this week, they're all jumping the gun. Same is going to happen to Google. So we'll see tomorrow if Google and Microsoft confirm the Netflix message. Based on the results, they didn't. They beat expectations. I haven't read the reports, so I reserve the right to make my. So, but the point is, now the fear is that Facebook is going to have a reaction like Netflix. Technically, today we launched a whole bunch of bearish patterns that have 10%, maybe 8 to 12% downside from here, especially in the NASDAQ and the small caps. We can reverse that tomorrow, but the bulls cannot afford another red tick like this. They need to pop. Otherwise, what's happening is one little bearish pattern is triggering another, and we're just having the important part. We do not want to lose the February 24th low. I'll show you that low. Look at the size of this head and shoulders. The downside is this much. I think that's like 70 or 80 points. So 240 to 230 is within reason with a lot of supports. Right here, slightly below that, slightly below that. But we're bleeding, tick, 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 until the Federal Reserve said, all right, we're not going to raise rates as harshly as we're going to, as far as we're going to say it. They've done this before. Jay Powell doesn't learn. He's done this before, and he's trying to do it again, and the market's going to give him the finger and say, snap out of it, buddy. You're not in charge. You think you're in charge. You're not in charge. So anyway, so the good thing about being in a group of 300 people actively and hundreds more just sitting back and waiting is that we share ideas. I'll give you an example. What we haven't talked about is what happens on Sunday. So you can have me every day of the week in 2 ways and twice on Sunday. Literally, I'm not kidding, twice on Sunday. Sunday morning, I hold a 2-hour webinar, sometimes more. I review all the tickers you want. Last week it was 148. The week before that it was 152 or 154. And the list is, I share a list. I do a video on it. I record it. I share it for people who can't make it on Sunday. I share a list of the 148 tickers with links and my write-up about it and what trade I would do if there's one applicable. And it's detailed, alphabetically sorted. You can scroll through the list. You can scroll through the video. You can the list is shared on Google Sheets, so it's open for whoever wants to click it that has the link. And then twice on Sunday, because at night, Sunday night, I send out another video, 8 to 10 minutes, to strategy video. I call it the strategic market update. Tells us what's going on and what I think we should do and what I think we should look out for and what are the opportunities. So this week is binary. I don't think it's going to be quiet out of this week. We either have a major crash or a nice rally, relief rally because 30% of the S&P just reported. Thank God. Next week is going to be easier because we have Apple to come. We have Roku. We have Amazon, Facebook. Those 2 are the scary ones now.
Yeah, someone's asked, just to clarify, because this is not something that just Nick is doing on the fly. Like, Nick will cover earnings in the chat room live as it happens.
So I will. And today I did my homework on the earnings. I showed them the reactions from prior reactions from Google. I showed them what I read into the earnings. So my comments were, and I'm reading here, it can go either way. Thanks a lot, Nick. I said, the only thing I see for sure is 2400 resistance. And it popped into 2400, maybe 2420 after it reported, and then it dropped straight down. And while I was doing it, I also said, there's something weird going on with 2300. They fell straight to 2300, and now they're like at the low 22s. So we'll see where they open tomorrow. But at least I told somebody I may have swayed somebody not to buy calls in Google because I thought that they would have no room to run. So that was one of them. Visa was another one. And Visa, I said, the tools say bearish. I don't agree. I said up is easier. I said they have strong support and the move up is easier. If somebody wanted to buy calls, they kind of had confirmations that, okay, maybe up is easier. Guess what? It's up 5% after hours. Who else reported today? Come on. Somebody help me out. Google, Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft, I said in the live session, I did the homework while they were waiting for me. I said, up is easier. Right now, I think it's down. It was down, it was up. It may be down now. We'll see where it opens tomorrow. I said, up is easier. There is support at 268 and 266, and I think it did that. Let's see here. Support at 268. So, okay, so now we're back up to 270. Let's go back to read my comments. Where are they? There. There is a lot of resistance at 275, 276, but upside pressure to that point. So there was reason to rally to 275. Let's see if they do it tomorrow. There's support below. Let's see if it holds tomorrow. I said anything above that is going to be a wall, like 295, 300, forget about it. It's going to be a roof, I should say. I said a wall, somebody corrected me. So there was Visa. Oh, Enphase, or is that tomorrow? That might, no, they reported. So Enphase, I said, the machine said, the tool that I use says bearish. I said, I don't see a bearish statement. There's no resistance and there's support. So the easier move would be up. And I said, if I had the stock, I wouldn't bail out. If I owned calls, I wouldn't bail out because I have support. I have no resistance. It's a good company, good fundamentals. Boing, it's up after hours. It's up 5.5%. So these are pieces of information that could help somebody either not do the wrong thing. And we had a class on how to short something. So somebody wanted to bet down on a stock, Google and Microsoft. They wanted to buy puts and they wanted to use this week's puts. I said, you're going to lose almost half your money at the open, even if you get a down move. That was a foreign concept to them. What do you mean? I guess down, the stock is down. I should, make a lot of money. Maybe you will, but 40% of your money is going to disappear as soon as the stock opens, regardless if it's opening up or down, because of the implied volatility. This is something in the options world where it's kind of like, if the market is nervous about the stock for this period of time, and of course earnings make them nervous, they price in earnings, they price in the options higher than normal. So if you look at the prices for this week, they have something called the implied volatility, basically how big the move is going to be, 105% for this week. I looked at, say, a month out, it was like 45. So more than double. So everything you bought this week, you double paid. So at the open, the event is gone. There's no mystery anymore. That implied volatility gets smashed, not all the way down, but considerably down. So maybe 35 to 40% of your value just goes away. So I gave them a mini lesson with pictures. I said, how about you do a calendar or a diagonal? Let me see, did I keep it? Hopefully. This is it right there. So let's have a lesson. What do you say? Rodrigo, you mind?
Yeah, but before we do that, Nick, I'm getting a lot of questions here
Go
in
ahead.
my email. So I'm going to go over some of these things. These are questions from you guys, right? You guys are emailing me. So instead of, I'm answering them now for everybody. So does Nic Chahine go over the member trade ideas? Yes, that's every day. Are the sessions on Sunday recorded? Yes, those sessions are recorded. Good question there, Phil. Does everybody that joined get a free laptop? Yes. If you see a laptop on the checkout,
Where's my free laptop?
if you see a laptop in the checkout, we still have a laptop, right? That can this help me if I trade crypto, commodities, forex, or just stocks? Yes, we do have a lot of people that trade all those different things in the chat room. So that's a good question. Is this for new traders only or for advanced traders? We actually have a mix of both. We have a lot of people that are advanced that help new traders as well. It's a tight community. You'll see it when you join. It's really something special we have here. What's the schedule of the chat room? Good question, Jay. So the schedule of the chat room is Monday to Friday, 9 to 6 p.m. And Sundays, you have a meeting with Nick, which is from 10 a.m. Eastern till about 12. And this is just for the chat members. You guys pick the stocks. Nick goes over hundreds of stocks with you.
Yeah.
And
I send out a form on Friday. You guys fill out the form. I compile the tickers Saturday. I do the homework on Saturday. I put them in a nice table. We meet on Sunday. I run through the table. I record the session, and then it's available to you.
Right. And we have next question here by John. Is there a money back guarantee? Yes, there is a 7-day money back guarantee for everybody that wants to join. Good one. Price at renewal. The price at renewal next year will be the same. It won't go up to the full price, 6,000. It'll stay at the 70% off. Good one there. Does Nick provide education? Yes, all the time, every day.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. And does Nick provide strategies for small and large accounts? And yes, he does. Basically, Nick will. I mean, you should try it out. Really, if you're like on the fence, try it out.
So wait. Let me address that point. A minute ago, I showed you UAL. It only requires $900. If I do, actually, it requires $90 if you do only one contract, but $900 if you do 10 contracts. So any size account to a degree. So the trades I share, you can modify them to fit the account size. I share them to where they have finite risk. I share how to blow up that risk and make it bigger for those who have bigger accounts. Today, somebody jumped into the chat room, somebody who's been with me for probably 9 years. Yes, 9 years. He knows what to do. He knows this stuff inside and out. He still comes to me before he takes trades. Today, he came in and he shared a trade that expired today. I believe he just made $1,000 in about an hour out of thin air because he took a credit put spread, which is a bullish position that does not need a rally. Late in the day, he saw support in the SPX. He said, I'm going to settle risk here. I need to go back and see the lines that he said. I'm pretty sure he made it. I don't think he got under fire. But anyway, besides the point, I share the setup. And if you take this version of it, it's finite risk. If you take that version of it, you can make it as big a risk as you want. So here's the education piece that came in today. So I said earlier, so somebody said, what's the rate? So hopefully you're thinking about it from the education. How much would you pay for school if the school lasted the whole year and you just pop in and out of class and you get any answer you want on demand? For me, it would be priceless. And the fact that it's this cheap from Benzinga because they have leverage, it's crazy. On my own, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. It's too cheap on my own. But I've been working with Benzinga for, I think we started in 2011. Heavy, definitely 2012. So we're doing something right. We can't be doing BS if we're not doing something right. Okay, so back to the lesson. This discussion happened today. So this is from today. I wish there was a date here, but you can verify the fact. And this is what I was talking about. So this is the implied volatility. This is the normal level, the dashed line. And this is what it was for this week. This won't be up here tomorrow. This dot tomorrow will be down here, will be as high as this. So this is what I said. I said, instead of buying these are 3 days. This is this contract. This here is this contract. You see there's check mark here, check mark there. I was showing them a visual. I said, if you wanted to short Microsoft, that wasn't my guess. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to buy puts here. I said, you're overpaying. I would buy the put out in May, like 2-3. You can do it next week, but it's still expensive. Go out to May, 24 days. It's almost the normal price. You pay $550 for this one. You collect half for selling the one expiring in 3 days. Well, tomorrow this is going to go pretty much to zero, gone. So tomorrow this prices out completely, and they still own this one. This one will be cheaper too, especially if Microsoft rallies. But they lost they gained faster than they lost. This one gains in their favor much faster than this one. This one pays right away. Whoop, gone. Unless Microsoft crashes tomorrow, in which case they'll make money overall. But if it doesn't crash tomorrow, this one hedges their bet. That's their bet. This is their hedge. So this was a lesson. This is a visual of a put calendar. Put because this is a put. It's on the side. Everything here is a put. Calendar because you bought something 24 days out. You sold something 3 days out. Same level, 250, 250. So this was an on-the-spot training or lesson with the picture of the order, with the net price. And I explained it just like that with a microphone, and they were watching my screen, just like you are now. So this goes on every day, all day. I swear to you, every day, all day, this is what happens. It's the funnest part of my day. I'm stapled to my chair, but I enjoy the hell out of it. Today, the only bad thing is I'm dealing with the dog who's losing its fight for life. So I had to put it on pause and go, check on my dog to see if he's still alive. So he's hanging in there. We'll see how he snaps out of it. So the camaraderie in the room is phenomenal. Somebody's trying to make a mistake. Somebody jumps in. Say, no, maybe you don't want to do that. A couple of people jumped in the morning. They said, I'm short. I think it was Amazon, but to be honest, I'm short from yesterday, so I'm booking some now, but I still see some downside scenario. So they were helping each other out. Some other people saying, I'm trying long. Somebody yesterday said they were long the TLT. So I jumped in there and I gave them a whole lesson about bonds and which is the TLT. I did homework about the yield curve inversion, and I did a whole skit about it. Shared a whole video to everybody in the chat room, live room, chat room, or emails. So if you're a member, you got 3 ways of finding that information. And it's basically telling us that maybe CNBC has it wrong. The yield curve inversion, they're looking at the wrong yield curve, right? The yield curve inversion, that's a macroeconomic thing where if the short-term rates are more expensive than the long-term rates. If you're old like me, you remember that if you lock your money in a CD for a long term, they pay you more, right? Because rates in the future are higher. So the inversion makes that upside down. It makes rates now higher than rates in the future. So why would banks even lend? Because they borrow now and they lend you out in time, right? So, but I read homework from Tony Dwyer, good guy. His concept, I buy into it. These were his ideas, not mine. I don't want to steal them from him. So he's saying you're comparing the 2 wrong yield curve. The wrong yield curve because you're comparing 2 wrong. So CNBC compares the 2-year versus the 10-year. Yes, this is shorter than the 10-year, but banks don't borrow at the 2-year rate. They borrow at like overnight lending rate. So he said you should look at the 3 months, which is representative of the really short-term rates. You should compare that not to the 10-year, but to the 5-year, which is what the average bond is, which is 6 years, he says, 6.5 years. So the 3 months to the 5-year yield curve is still fine and in fact steepening. So one is flattening, inverting, and the other one is steepening. And that's the one the banks lend out. So the bottom line is the Fed will fail. So I said to my people, don't be surprised if the Fed stops doing the rate hikes by December or January and even reverts doing cuts like they did under Trump, because they thought they were in control. Turns out they weren't, because the stock market is in control. They say they don't tailor to the stock market. They do. Because if the stock market is not doing well, we're not spending money. And we, the US consumer, is 2/3 of the GDP. So we will see GDP this week. Let's see what it comes out. Maybe it spooks. The White House has the incentive to cook the books and make it look pretty hideous. So that forces the Fed's hands to stop. So the GDP might be pretty bad. I don't know. If I was part of the White House, that's what I would do, because they can't influence what the Fed does. Well, they can't tell the Fed what to do, but they can kind of influence the rhetoric. Stop talking tough.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
you want to raise rates, just raise it. Stop talking hawkish. It's like they're outdoing each other. One guy says quarter point every meeting. The other guy said, hell no, half point. I heard 75 basis point, and now there's a point. Somebody saying they want a point raise every meeting. Like, what is going on here?
yeah,
It's like,
so regardless of what happens in the market, right? Even if there's a recession or whatever, you're still going to be able to profit in the chat room. That's really the beauty of it,
right.
right?
So we can profit from the fast trade opportunities, from the shorter term swing opportunities, from the trades that are like the United Airline, where it's I don't care if it goes up or down as long as it stays inside of a region. Catching falling knives, I can sell credit put spreads, which is a bullish position that allows for a lot of room for error out in time. So anything that reports earning, now the event is gone. Like tomorrow, I can put a Google trade because Google, the company, is crushing it. They're making money hand over fist. This was probably a record quarter, even though you will hear they missed. If they missed, I don't know. I haven't read, but it drives me crazy when the headline writers say, instead of saying, wow, they doubled their business, they say they missed estimates by, what was it? 30%. And it was like 3 cents. 3 cents. What? Meanwhile, the sales are up 45% or 50%. Nope. They missed it by 3 cents. They missed earnings for a growth company. For you to harp on earnings, let alone estimates, not like versus last year, the estimate, somebody's opinion. They upset somebody's opinion at, I don't know, Canaccord or something.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
ridiculous.
definitely, but I think it could be a great opportunity. I mean, Google's, I mean, it's
Well, if
Google's
nothing
Google.
more, being with a group like ours, you would make many fewer mistakes. Imagine you having the ability to run your trade by us every day. And if you're shy about sharing your trade out in the open, which I can assure you there are no judges in there, nobody, there's no finger pointing, there's no shaming in there. I promise you, it's such a safe place. You can reach me privately. Even in the live room, you can direct message me and say, hey, Nick, I have a message to send you. Can we do it privately? No problem. No problem. I have a few people that have never spoken in public. They're always DMing, and they're active. They're very active, but it's all on direct message. It's their personality. I have no issues with it. We have plenty of people to keep us busy. So today I was actually trying to throttle it down. Like people started typing, Microsoft is falling. Like, yeah. We're all watching the same screen. So you don't need to tell us tick by tick what's going on, because that elicits feelings. Somebody will act, falling. That's how FOMO comes in. Human nature kicks in. No, let's watch levels. Okay, falling, fine. It's falling and rising all the time. Like somebody jumps in. Why are the markets falling? Okay, why were they rallying yesterday? Silence. Why were they falling the day before yesterday? Silence. It's just normal price action inside an abnormal environment. Rallies are too big. The drops are too big. Yesterday, we rallied way too much. Today, we gave up way too much because of the rally yesterday. It's a pendulum. So as long as we know the range, we can survive. We can do homework. There's no rush to take any trades. We don't average down. That's a loser attitude. Please stop averaging down. So how about we do this? I want to do something different today. So let's do a stock. Do you mind, Rodrigo? He doesn't.
Let's rock it. Yeah.
Let's do a stock. Give me a ticker. Where is
All right, let's do CTRM.
Oh, you and that guy. CTRM. Okay. CTRM. Just know that this is a trading stock only, not an investment in my book. CTRM clearly is an active stock. So let me go back to the daily so I can set myself. Okay. So had you asked me earlier, I would have told you there's reason for it to go to $2 and 180. So there's still a second target at 179, 180 that could still unfold in the next 2 days. However, you do have support from this one candle right here on April 12th. So you have support where it closed today. You have better support at 190. So maybe it gets to 180, maybe it doesn't, but it's there. So it's a buying opportunity on the dip. If you have a good, strong stomach for risk, you buy it here or a little bit lower, or some here and some lower. I said don't average down, but if you break up your order into two pieces, that's not averaging down. That's averaging into a full-size order. So if I wanted to risk 1,000 and I take 500 now and I wait and I take another 500 later, that's not averaging down. That's being smart and averaging in. What's not smart is taking your whole 1,000 and then deciding later, oh man, I just lost half my money. Let me double down. No, no, you don't make your problem bigger. No, that doesn't make sense. So you buy it here. So this is what it will do. Not it will do, it can do. So there is support either here or slightly lower, which means that they could, whoa, easy there. They could drop and they might meander up to here. Now they failed here. They're probably failing again. And then what you want is, I'll show you why this could happen. So if this happens, this can happen. So let me walk you through the logic. The bulls are making progress. The bulls are making progress. I'm not connecting dots. Progress, buy dip, buy dip, buy dip, dip. Is it going to buy? So they bought 1 dip, 2 dip, 3 dips. This is the 4th dip. They're failing against the prior support resistance level. See that? Prior failed levels. That's where they failed. Not a coincidence. Look left. This candle, that's the bad guy. So 2.51 could trigger a nice rally up to here. So if they buy the dip, they'll probably dip again and they'll buy that. And then they'll hit that and this. And the bulls take it out, boom, they overshoot the $3 or more. How much? Technicians will tell you the overshoot is as deep as the bull. I'm going to penalize it a little bit. I'm going to put Nick body English on it. That they say body English, body language, whatever. This is probably the tops. So realistically, somewhere around here. Let me zoom back out. Yep, this cluster right there. So it has potential. So this is what I call buy the dip or buy the rip. Whichever way, put a stop loss. I even have an acronym for it. BDBR. Look, BDBR. Boom. Magic. Buy the dip if it happens, or buy the rip, whichever comes first.
Yeah, and that's definitely an interesting stock considering everything, the lockdowns in China, all the supply chain stuff that's happening.
I don't know what they do. What are they?
They're like
dry
bulk
bulk
shipping.
Okay.
Yeah, but they dry bulk ship fertilizer, steel, commodities, all that stuff.
Okay, so
yeah.
Please be careful with these stocks as far as an investment. This is a trading opportunity, right? So I bet you this is like dry ships. I remember this one. Now I remember. I'm going to go to a monthly chart. Boom. I would never invest in a stock that looks like this. What is this? How many times did the reverse split? So be aware of what you're investing in. Oh, there we go. There's a reverse split right here. How much was it? 1 for 10. Probably not the only time. When they do that, is so they don't get delisted. GE just did that. The VXX did that. Novavax did that. They're a penny stock, and then they're not.
Yeah, so somebody mentioned this from one. I took a look at it because I know it was a meme stock, and before it was a meme stock, it was at the same price, but they only had 6 ships, and now they're at the same price. I think they have like 32 ships. So just an interesting one.
I want to caution you if you're using options for the stock. Very thin. What does that mean? There's not a lot of action. So then the market makers, the big bad wolf out there, could see your orders and they will target you personally. Yeah, there's not a lot of options. So like today, I can see 20 calls and 3 puts.
Yeah, and this is a great example, Nick, that even if, I buy the stock on this, I'm not trading the options, but it's a great example that people that trade stocks and other people can benefit from being with you in the chat room.
Yeah, when it's, you're right. When the stock is this cheap, it's the price of an option itself. So then if you buy stock, you can, time is not so much of an issue. With options, everything revolves around time. Okay, so that is one.
Yeah,
give me another one.
Let's check out Affirm. I know you love that
one. You're killing me. Okay, so Affirm. I'm going to give you a blanket statement about companies like Affirm. Okay, here they are. Affirm, great business. They're growing fast, but Wall Street currently has no appetite for companies that have P&Ls that are growing fast, like this blue line. That's the revenue line, the sales line, growing fast, but at the expense of spending. That's the orange line. That's negative. That's losses out of pocket. Now, let me check on something here. Okay, so it also bleeds 200 million in cash from its own operations. So a firm needs to basically borrow to grow. I like the business. I believe in the model. Look at it. They're selling rallies. Look at every arrow. These are selling rallies. Tuck, 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 tuck. Finally, it's trying to stabilize, but it's taking too much long. Too much long. So you lose this one. You're not done falling. Is this a SPAC? If it is it going to 10? I hope not. I like the company. I could own shares for the long term. I would buy half batch. I wouldn't mess with the buying calls. I would rather buy shares. And if you want to buy calls, I would rather sell puts and buy calls. So if I wanted to own 1,000 shares, I would sell 5 puts to own shares lower, create income. If it doesn't fall, I made money out of thin air. I would buy calls leaps way out in time, 5. So now I'm long 1,000 shares, one way or another. Half of it doesn't need a rally. It brings me money anyway. The other half, if the rally comes, I'm making money. If the rally doesn't come, I'm not losing a lot of money because I collected something and I paid something. So that's the one way to get long a stock and leave room for error. Right. So I would do a video explaining this whole thing, putting pictures with the puts and the calls and explaining what it means to sell a put and what it means to buy a call. And somebody would have a pretty good idea of what to do with it. I would say everything exactly the same way for SoFi. Everything I just said. Look, growth in the P&L, although by the way, this P&L is wrong. Look it up on Yahoo. Spending, a lot of growth. Excellent bank. Yes, it's a bank now, I believe. Bad wedge. It's like going out of business. Yesterday, it was up on a bad day. The market turned around and opened and finished green. But when the market was red, SoFi was green. Today, not only went back to base, lower than yesterday. What is happening? This is garbage.
The other
one, price action.
The other one that I wanted to ask you, man, because it's just crazy, dude. PayPal is down 73% from its highs. It's like at the bottom of the COVID lows. And what do we do here, man? What do we do with PayPal? Because I like it. It's making money.
PayPal, you have to admit to yourself and me that we are missing a piece of the puzzle. I've said this before. If you've seen me before, sorry for repeating myself on that one. I'm going to show you a stock that is decided to not be a stock. Okay, this is DD, a company that said, I no longer want to be a public company. And look, they're treating PayPal like it's going out of business. Does somebody know we don't? Does somebody know something we don't? This is a company that nets $4.2 billion, that flows $6 billion in cash from operations every year, that's growing sales like crazy, that's got a PE cheaper than Apple, that's got a price to sales cheaper than Apple. What the fudge is going on here? What are we missing? So this is where you say, if I'm long PayPal, I raise my hands and say, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not adding another penny to it. And if I'm nervous and I'm big in it, I would buy some puts just to stop the bleeding. What if they're right? What if there's some headline coming out, some regulatory thing that PayPal can no longer do business or something? That's pretty crazy. Look at it. DD in white. PayPal is the other choppy one. They're like tick for tick. What is happening here? The company is super healthy on paper. It's not a high spend company. It's high growth, high profit. So
and
there's no bone to pick with it unless there's some weird thing going on in Russia we don't know about. Look at the increase in sales. The increase in sales is consistent. Look, 25 billion. What is that? 2.5 times from 2016. 2.5 times in sales. 4.2 billion in net profit. And
what's and if I don't know if you want to look at Bitcoin, it looks like it's down 5% right now.
Bitcoin, I stayed true to my comments. The other day I upset a member.
By the way, before anything, I know it's the Options Inner Circle chat room, but Nick does cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, a whole bunch of coins. So it's also a crypto kind of room, if you will. Right?
It sure is. So crypto is another chart. Yeah, crypto is going out of business, Mary. That's funny. So crypto, as long as Bitcoin is below 46,000, convincingly below, like that book above 46, I said, nope, don't buy it yet. A poke above 46 doesn't constitute recovering 46. A poke and a retest of the floor, which they failed. They couldn't hold the floor and they went immediately back lower. Look at this nice head and shoulders. Bitcoin loses this. The second stop is 28 to 25. And then they repeat the same process they did here. 20 is next. So months ago, I won't say November, I'm drawing a blank. I did a full-blown video and I followed it up with another video. I said, I am bullish crypto. I think it has a head and shoulders that's going to trigger. And I think the target of that head and shoulders is 20, 19 to 21, something like that. I said it would unfold in several waves. First, they lose the floor. Second, they pop right back up to try to recover it. If they do, fine. If they can't, they fail. They ping pong, they consolidate, they lose the floor of the consolidation, rinse and repeat another level. So here's what happened. That is 46. They lost it. They tried to recover it a couple of times. Third time, failed. This one looked like a nice, I said, I don't think so. And then here we are. You lose these two, you're coming down to the second step. They'll do another consolidation zone somewhere down here. And you lose the floor on that one, you come down to here. So why would I say that they need to come down to there? Well, they broke out in 2020 from 20,000, which was their prior high. Everybody made fun of it, remember? But they never went back to revisit it. A healthy chart needs to go back and revisit the neckline. So here's my plan from months ago. I said, when it hits around 33,000, which it did right here, I said, I will buy 1/3 of my position of what? Whatever coins I want. I'm using Bitcoin as a guide for everything else. I chose Solana, I chose Ethereum, and I chose CRO. So those are 3 coins that have uses. Ether is the actual coin that most transactions happen with. So Ethereum is a network. It processes all the Bitcoins. It's the dominant network. Solana is a competitor that's much more efficient, like 1,000 times, maybe 4,000. I don't remember the number, 3,000 to 5,000 times faster, because they have a shtick. You've heard proof of stake. They have proof of history. So they have a way of carrying the timestamp via calculation. So less data going through makes it more faster, blah, 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 too wonky. I know the concept. I just don't know the very good details about it. I know it's viable. So Ethereum, Solana, SOL, and CRO betting on crypto.com. They're heavy advertising, LeBron James and Matt Damon. I figured, okay, they're making a go of it in the US. Their coin should be good. So I bought them at the dip. And this is like the third waves. I bought and sold, bought and haven't sold. But every time I sold was 30%, 35% profit. This last time when I bought here, it was up 40%. I'll give you an idea. I bought Solana, it was 78, almost $79. It went to 143. Solana, SOL USD. I didn't close it because I knew I wouldn't want to. So as soon as I bought it, I staked it. What does that mean? I locked it, and now they're paying me 3% on my coins. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. And they pay me out every week. So every time I collect, I restake the stuff they pay me out. It's like compounding weekly, basically. Thank you, government.
And
they just ruined it. The government just put some, we'll talk about that in the chat room. They just instituted, starting April 15th or 18th, I can't remember, new rules that would stop new people from staking Bitcoin unless they get accredited, because they want to know who's trading Bitcoin, because they can't control it. They're freaked the hell out. And this is their way. They can't regulate it. They can regulate what we do with it. That's it. They can't regulate it.
I want to give a shout out here to a quick shout out here, Nick, for Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy. Welcome.
Hey, Jeremy.
Welcome.
Hey, Jeremy, do me a favor. Pop in the chat room whenever you have between today and tomorrow. Say hi. Somebody will say hi back. I will say hi back whenever I can. But go to, let me see here. There is where the videos are. So BZ vids. There you go. That's the link that will get you, once you log in, that's the link that will get you to the getting started page, where you have a whole bunch of videos there.
Yeah. And really quick, Nick, I mean, you remember this, I think it's Coin. I'm looking at it. I think this was one of the most, I don't know, but it was definitely up there. One of the most highly priced IPOs ever. Coinbase, remember?
Yeah. Coinbase is,
Is it an opportunity or what do you
yes,
think about it?
of course. But here's the thing: you have to respect the price action. What does the meme say on Wall Street? The adage: "Don't fight the tape." Regardless of what I think, regardless of what you think, what does Wall Street think? I don't want to fight Wall Street. I want to find the opportunity. So the problem with coin is it's moving with Bitcoin. And now you don't have any support lines anymore. So now the bulls don't have anything. The bears have all the momentum, they have open space. It doesn't make sense unless Coinbase holds Bitcoins. It doesn't make sense that the trading platform for Bitcoin falls as the price of the Bitcoin falls. It's like selling Charles Schwab platform because stocks are falling. Wouldn't people trade more and they would make more from the transactions? I don't get it. So there's a disconnect there, but I respect the price action. If I'm long Coinbase, I would not add. If I'm looking to get long Coinbase, I'm going to give you a trade idea. My trade idea. So let's say I like Coinbase. I've done my homework. They have 30 million subscribers. I don't know. I'm making that stuff up. So then I open Coinbase's financials. Sorry, I'm exhausted. Okay, so I'm looking at the income statement. 2019, 500 million, 1.3 billion. What? 8 billion? Did they buy a company? Wow. Okay, regardless, that's what it looks like on paper, right? And then a net income, they're already profitable. They already net 3 billion. Okay, is this horse crap? Is this like gap earnings? No, wait. They actually created 10.8 billion in cash from their own operations. So unless I'm missing something, somebody please straighten me out. What the hell's going on? This is a gem in the making. And it is PE of 9. What? Okay. So maybe it's a special way of accounting for a platform like this one. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience looking at Coinbase, Bitcoin platforms. So how would I go along a stock that I respect, that I think has value, that the Wall Street does not respect? Let me see if I can tell you. Would you collect money if you wanted shares of coin? Would you take $500 from me if you say you would buy my shares for $100? This is a real question. So in other words, if I pay you $500 right now, would you promise to buy my shares at 100 of coin? I'll give you a minute. Think about it, and I'll tell you why I'm saying that. I'm going to give you a lesson about options on the fly.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that what you were saying, Nick, that there is a missing piece to what's happening right now. Seeing Coinbase down 70%, PayPal down 73%, it's like Netflix down some, it's just not, I'm not used to seeing that. I've been trading just for a couple of years.
I believe it. Netflix, they lost their burrito. Okay, that's a longer conversation. Don't touch Netflix right now. Okay, so this is Coinbase. I don't know when they report earnings. Let's double check. 510. Okay, so that's a wrinkle. Okay, so what I just said, would you take $500 if you promise to buy my shares at $95, not 100? So if I sell, first of all, this is an options chain. That's what they call these tables, where they display options. So what are options? They're contracts. Every one of these is a contract. They come in 2 flavors. They come in flavor puts and flavor calls, vanilla and chocolate. Neither is bullish or bearish. They both can be both. So contracts have buyers and sellers. In this case, everything on this page relates to Coinbase. Everything on this page, each one of these contracts represents 100 shares. So if you're making a bet on the puts or the calls, it's 100 shares at a time, each of them. So when I said, would you buy my shares if I pay you $500? That means you would sell me this put. I would buy this put at 95 for 52 days. I just chose June. This is middle of June. I think it's the 18th. That contract has 52 days on the clock. That's one stipulation of the contract. The second stipulation is price. We both agreed on 95. That's the second stipulation. The third one is 100 shares per contract, 100 shares. So what happens? Well, what stock? Coin. So what happens? I buy the put, you collect my money. So I pay you $500, $500 goes into your account. You are now effectively long Coinbase, maybe. How do you get long Coinbase? If I give you my shares, you have to take them. So I can call my broker any point in time, today, tomorrow, a week from now, any point in time, and say, you know what? I own this $95 put. Give my shares to, who was it? Mary. Give my shares to Mary for $95. She promised. She has my money. She promised. Then my shares go away. Mary wakes up owning 100 shares, and she keeps the $500. So her break-even point is 90. So if the stock is at or above 90, when she gets assigned, she didn't lose anything. Meanwhile, the stock price may have dropped from here to 95. The put position would show a lot of losses. But if she doesn't panic and she lives up to the expectations that she will take my shares, then she doesn't defend it. She takes the shares. The losses from the put disappear like they weren't there. She keeps the $500, so her break-even point is 90. That's how it works to get long a stock and leave room for error. So the maximum she can make is $500, but she's long like right now, and she doesn't need a rally to win. So what if I don't give her my shares? Nothing. She can repeat it. She made $500 out of thin air. So she basically did 10%, right? $5 divided by 95, roughly 10%. Air math. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, you can do the math and correct me. Whoops. What did you say?
It's just something's going on, because I mean, I also saw that Robinhood cut about 9% of full-time employees. So I don't know how to take that, but yeah, there's something happening.
I just saw that they're cutting 10% of their employees. Well, Robinhood is slightly in a different. Plus, also they bought a company. So is that 9% of the new count? They bought a crypto company, did they not? I believe they bought a crypto company. So maybe Hood pops on that news. Nope. Post-market is down 5.5%. So when a company streamlines its streamlines its expenses, normally they pop. So let's see. All right. So now it's in low territory. That's not good. Now the bulls have no recourse. They have nothing to shoot for. So now the bears are in, quote, open air. There's no support anymore. It's beyond the lowest support. So it's up to management to come out and say something good. And say, hey, you know what? We still have 25 million users. Here's how we're going to monetize them. They basically need a buyout. They need a buyout for about $15 a share. That's probably what they need. I don't know why trading companies, if they have cash, instead of doing buybacks, why wouldn't they buy it? I mean, they have 25 million users, or however million users they have, 20 million, 18 million, whatever it is. That's an instant beef to your trader, like Schwab or whatever. Somebody should buy them. Okay, where do you want to take it from here, Rodrigo? We talked about the live room. We talked about the chat room. We talked about the videos. We talked about the education pieces for different speed traders. And if you're a fast trader, we got you covered for sure. Total fun every day. Learning every day. I'm learning new tricks. I'm teaching you new tricks. You're teaching me new tricks. We're all learning. We are Sunday get together to review whatever we want to, whatever you want to review. Strategic reviews on Sunday nights. 2 write-ups a day. Slow poke trades, like for me. Trades that work in bearish markets and bullish markets. Today I did a video. Did I do a video or a write-up? A write-up on how to take bearish positions just mid-morning.
Yeah.
I've done those before.
Well, I mean, I guess the best thing would be here to show them really what's the deal with Nic. So let's just kind of break it down here, Nic. Show them what you got. What is your take on the energy sector? Where do you think all that's going? Just so the folks can get an idea of that.
Okay, so I don't buy it. I don't get the story that we have, an energy crisis. I think it's a contrived crisis. First, you have OPEC, which is an illegal activity in the US. So in the US, we have a policy against what OPEC does, which is get together, how can we screw the consumer and make more money for us? So they control the supply and they control the price. That's illegal in the U.S., but it goes on the global level. We can't control the laws overseas, so they're not scum for doing it. They can get away with it. Why wouldn't they? Then you have Russia, which is now ROPEC, basically Russia and OPEC together, versus the U.S. And the policy in the U.S. is not to drill our own oil. Instead, we like to go beg for oil from people we don't like, which is pretty crazy, but I'm not president. So that will have to change. When? I don't know. $7 gas? I pay $6 already, $6.25 in California. When crude oil hits 200, 300, 400, where would they say, okay, so we're going to have to swallow our pride and pump for a little bit? One thing, serving the environment, I'm all for it. But if it's at the cost of killing everything else and having to beg at the feet of bad people, no. Anyway, so I don't buy the crisis. The crisis can be averted with one decision. So how do I trade that? I don't chase it. I trade it. I don't invest in it. So my concern is, this is the USO, representative of the price of oil. My concern is people are chasing Chevron and Exxon at all-time highs because they pay dividend. Well, they don't anymore because they only pay 3% now. Well, it just corrected, so it pays 3.6%. But here's the thing. The government will pay me 3% risk-free. The 10-year yield is almost 3%. Look at the TNX. It's almost 3%. The 2.8 last time I checked. So why would I want to take the risk of stock? Well, if I bought it up here thinking I'm going to collect 3%, I just lost 10%. So what's that 3% cost me? Oh, yeah, it netted me a loss of 10%. It dropped 13%.
So, Nic,
so yeah, I got 3%, but I lost 13.
Quick
so
question
I'm down
here.
10, basically.
Quick question on oil, Nic. So, for example, do you think it would be, once that happens, right? Do you think it's going to be bullish for like U.S. oil companies or?
No, I shorted Oxy because out of principle. So I picked Team Icon. We have two billionaires, two smart fellas, similar styles, one a little more aggressive than the other one. They were both long Oxy. Icon exited at the top, cleared $1 billion or whatever. Buffett was still buying at the top. I don't get it. I thought his mantra was be greedy when everybody is scared and be scared when everybody else is greedy. So he's being greedy when everybody's greedy. He's breaking his own rules. So I'm betting against him. So I bought a put 3 days ago. I think I bought an August put at $45. So if you don't know what that is, I paid $250. I can't remember the number exactly to buy a put at $45 out to August. So I'm saying between now and August, I just want it to drop. And yesterday it fell hard. So I didn't time my put perfectly. The first day it was red, and then this happened. So I looked today or yesterday, I was like, whoa, I'm up like 35% of my put. So I closed it yesterday at the bottom, close to the bottom. Today it popped. Oh, and when I closed it, I said in the chat room, I said, okay, I closed my put in Oxy. I was tempted to turn it into a put calendar or diagonal. And then I resisted. I said, you know what? I'm going to cut it clean. I closed it. So I'm no longer bearish. But I said, as soon as I closed it, I said, I will reshort it. And I set an alert. I said, if it goes up to here, I put an alert. In fact, you can probably see it here. Alert triggered 426. It said reshort it at 56.10. That was a note to myself. It opened, bing, the alert came up. Guess what I did? I bought another put. This time I bought it shorter in time and higher in price. So I bought the $50 put. So now that put that cost me whatever it cost me, it's really half price because I already booked profits.
Right. And Nic, I understand that you're also going to start implementing a new kind of lotto plays or something like that.
Oh, no, we have been. So part of being in the live action room is that we can do short-term, low dollar, huge payout trades. And now we can do them daily because the SPX has daily expirations almost. Soon we'll have daily expirations. So what does that mean? If you've heard the term 0 DTE, 0 days till expiration. So you take an options trade that expires in hours. So the whole cycle of buying and hoping for a rally or a drop plays out in minutes. So we know charts, we know options, we have tools. We can kind of guess what's going to happen last minute. And if we guess right, we spend $50 to make $500, and it plays out in literally minutes. So they're lottery tickets. So we've had recently $50 turn into 900, turn into 400. Sometimes it's a double, sometimes it's a quadruple, sometimes it's a loss.
Really quick here, Nick. Sorry, just want to give a shout out to Mark. Welcome to the Options Inner Circle, Mark. Let's go.
Mark, you're going to have a lot of fun. Just bear with me today. I might not have a lot of time. I'm dealing with a few things. I'm running behind on schedule. So if I don't talk to you guys today, definitely say hello in the chat room, in the inner circle. Definitely go start watching the videos, and we can chat it up tomorrow morning. I get up at 4:05 my time, and I'm at my desk early, but I don't start talking until about half hour before the market opens, because I speak all day and my voice is paying the price. So we will have a lot of fun, and just don't rush. Don't expect like the world all in one day. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just pace yourself. Make sure you take the basics in. What I don't want to see, somebody joining and somebody says, "Where's the trade?" That would just drives me crazy. What? How about hello? Where can I learn something new? Not where's the trade? We have a whole year to trade. Let's learn the basics and practice with fake money first. And when you get the concept right with fake money, you do one contract, you get that right, you do 2 contracts, and you get 5 contracts, and then you stop. You repeat. You know you have a method, then you blow it up if you want to. The person that jumps in and says, "Where are the trades for today?" Not the right approach, in my opinion. Humble opinion, but you can do it if you want to. Okay, what were we talking about? Oh, lottery tickets. So the lottery tickets are fast trade setups, low cost, low odds, high dollar payout. We make them not low odds because they are calculated risks. Yesterday, to be honest, I expected a dip into the close. I said, what is happening? If I was a market maker, I want the S&P to drop. And it happened overnight. I was like puzzled. Like the S&P needs to be below 424, 423, 425 for sure, 424 and 423. Like what happened today? Where did it end up? 416. Yikes. Look, losing this. Good grief. Luckily, we have like a couple of ticks here. Losing this one, folks. This one, buy. Not buy it, buy. I don't know. Here, eyeball target. There's a lot of support at 398, some support at 388, but 370s is totally within the realm of it's doable. It's doable. So don't be adding to risk. Okay.
So quick question here. So this is a stock that the symbol is TSP. It's autonomous driving trucks, and I kind of have like a watch list of what the future and things like that. I put this stock there.
TST, Tom, what?
TSP.
TSP.
Yeah.
Am I going to see no income here?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah. Nothing but spending. This is not for me to invest in. You want to trade it? It's totally tradable, but it has no P&L. If I cannot bank on PayPal holding when it's making $4 billion in net income, I wouldn't touch it. So trading, yes. Investing, no. Sorry if I'm making noise. I'm knocking the microphone with my hand. Here's a question. Let's cut to the chase. What's my R&R? That tells me right away that you don't have the right attitude for it, but I invite you to check it out. And luckily, it's risk-free. You want me to go tabulate, or do you want me to speak for whatever the other people will tell you that happens in the room? If I'm bullshitting you, I wouldn't come and tell you I have 270 people in the room. So I promise you, you will like what you see. And if you don't, no harm done. You can leave. And don't take my word for it. My word doesn't count for anything. When other people tell you what's going on in the room, that will convince you to stay or say, no, that's not for me. I'm trying to find quotes from this week. What's my R&R? I'll use Sandman or Tin Man's. It's a 9-bagger or a 4-bagger or a 2-bagger. Words I don't use, but they use. Let me see here. Let's open it up. I'm trying to find one here. Okay, here's one, 45%. That was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I think. Here, I'll paste it in here. You be the judge. That's not me counting. That's somebody else counting. And with witnesses. So you can say 280 people. That must have been yesterday. Jack F. did the SPX lottery last minute. 1 of 4 that day. Out twice, did 45% and 43%. So he did 2 out of 4, all in a matter of minutes. Thanks. Is that good R&R for you? And there was a play on Roku before that. Roku was an immediate win based on algo divergence. And then I went to the charts. I saw the divergence on my chart. I went to the regular chart and I validated the breakout line that could bring into play the divergence I saw with the algo flow from tradie ticks. So that's one. Cherry picking, I just went back to the next one back. Okay, so hold on. I'll take the other one back. Cherry picking. You have 280 people and you're still calling me cherry picker. That's pretty funny. Maybe this place is not for you, friend. We'll be fine. Some people. Here, let's cherry pick. What did this person say? I didn't even read it. I can't see them. They're so little. When you said you think it was a fake out, I bought a put and made 45%. There. It wasn't even a trade alert. I said, I think this is a fake out because the VX, which is the futures contract on the VIX, and the VIX were blowing up. The VXX, which is the ETN that tracks the VIX futures, which is the VX. Are you following me here? Hang in there. Are you following me? I say all of this. I say, I see discrepancies in the fear complex. I think this is a fake out. Boom. Somebody put it to work, right? Cherry picking, right? Let me go back. What does this say?
And Doc, one of the members of the Inner Circle chat room on the YouTube side, asking about Tesla. If you can take a look at it.
Yeah. Here's one pretty crappy, only 22%. Mary trades. You can ask Mary. She's probably in here. Okay, we'll do NU holding. Seems to be, I don't know what NU holding. I'm sorry, Rodrigo, you're going to have to repeat what you just said.
You can look at Tesla after this one.
Yes,
Doc.
absolutely. Tesla.
Yeah.
So
Doc.
NU holding, I don't know the company. Technically, there's reason to start looking for a long entry. The target would be 7 or 7.6, but it's not a trade alert. So this is a harmonic setup that draws itself and it tells you, hey, maybe we've seen these patterns before, we've seen these ratios before, and according to our historical mathematical figures, they hump back 2 or 3 Fibonacci levels, and they give you the levels. One is 7.08 and one 7.61. It doesn't say go long. It just says go start looking for longs. So this is where we go to look for corroborating evidence. In this case, I'll open up to see if the RSI will give me anything. It doesn't. There's no improvement in the RSI or the rate of change or the amplified RSI. These are 3 different internals. So I need something else. Support, maybe there's that one tick, but then a big gap here. So I wait. I would probably set an alert and say, okay, if the RSI goes above this level, I'll put an alert here. And then if that happens, then I'll get long. Until then, if you get long here, you're anticipating a rally. So you better, if you risk $1,000, I'm making numbers up, you better say to yourself, true to yourself, and live by it, I'm willing to lose X%, 200, 300. Every person is different. And if that happens before I get the bounce, I'm out. That's the only way I could condone somebody taking a long based on a pattern that is not confirmed. So the pattern is there, but it has no corroborating evidence. This is where I would go to a secondary tool, like maybe TradyTix is one of the tools. It's been pretty accurate short term. Anything under 1 minute, algo flow, it's pretty accurate from that tool. It's pretty incredible, actually. So that works. That would give me confidence to, okay, jump the gun and get in. So that's an NU holding. Somebody said MU earlier, and then we'll do Tesla. So Micron, I'm not a big fan. Okay, so this is the Sunday list. This one is 424, 148 tickers. The list is tabulated with TradingView links, alphabetical, with comments, with trade setups, and a link that is live. This is a picture of it because this here is not a browser. Otherwise, I would bring you a live version of it. This here is a downloaded version of TradingView desktop version. It's not a browser. Okay. Micron, I'm not a big fan of the company fundamentals. In other words, yes, it's good at what it does, but there's a cloud looming from AMD. AMD could be headed to 70 or lower from a weekly breakdown of a giant head and shoulders on top of a giant head and shoulders that they never filled from here. Right here, if I do a daily chart, there are a couple of giant gaps. You don't build a giant mountain on top of a stick with holes. So this right here, AMD needs to be above 100, preferably above 104, in order to negate this head and shoulders, which has a target about this down, this deep. So this target could bring it well below the $70. I'm saying stop at 70 because of this huge consolidation zone. So volume profile, that's that orange line on a weekly basis. So this is like years of data, should provide support. It's not a hard line in the sand. If you want a hard line in the sand, it's 72. If you lose that, you're coming down to below 60. So what I will do is I'll be ready to sell as many puts as I can when people are panicking. I did it during the pandemic. I sold puts in AMD that I would have broken even at $18 and $20. Somebody panicked. I'll buy your shares. Yes, yes. And I sold $22 puts. They paid me $2.25. And then another dip later, deeper, lost money on the first puts. I didn't close them. So I ended up making money. What I did is like, hey, I like the first batch I sold. I'm going to sell more. I sold them for July, not October, the second time, and deeper at 20, and I collected another $2 and change. So the break even on those were under 18. So overall, my break even was definitely under 20, and I made thousands of dollars just for saying, I'll buy your shares at 20 bucks. What? Yeah, I'll do it all day. Can't do it at 20 now. I would have to do it at 50 or 40, but I will. Same deal. So dry powder in case this happens. So if this is going on, I don't think MU goes anywhere all by itself, because the XLK is going to suffer as well. SMH is going to suffer. And look, they're starting to trigger their own thing. That is a bad week. We need a miracle today.
Hey, Nick, I don't know. I don't know if this is your miracle, but maybe you want to look at Microsoft right now. They earnings, they just reported right now.
Yeah, I looked at it a bit earlier and I said what I thought would happen. Let me see. What are they doing now? They're up 6%. Let me see what my guess was. I don't remember. I thought I said up was easier. There we go. Let's see. The TradeEtix tool says bearish. I didn't agree. I said up is easier. There's support at 268 and 266 from my read of their data. There is a lot of resistance at 275 and 276. They are at 286 now. There's a lot of resistance at, but upside pressure to that point. So there's reason to get to that point. And then I said 295, 300 should be a roof this week. Tomorrow, the options will change based on what happened today. So this was the options profile based on the open interest today and the volume today. So tomorrow, I will get a fresh look and update the outlook. So up was easy. I disagreed with the tool that's made to predict algo, and I was right. So I'm logging all my guesses on earnings, and now I've made 6 mistakes in 24 tries. That's pretty good. It's a coin flip outcome on earnings, and 6 mistakes meaning I guessed up or down, and the stock goes the other way on the reaction. So there's no magic. There's no BS. It is what it is. If somebody promises you the world, I can promise you 85% theoretical odds of success on all of the options trades that I do that have time on the clock because I set them up that way. And that's what the statistics are. The intraday ones, I don't bother keep a log. We do like, I don't know, 100 a week. I'm not going to keep a log. Yeah, and I would need a secretary just logging the shit in. Excuse me.
Doc from the YouTube chat, he's a member of the Inner Circle. He says, it's insane how Nick goes over every ticker you throw at him, even on Friday at 4 p.m. And he goes over everyone on Sunday. So that's a current, there's also current members there.
Doc, I know Doc. Yeah, we chat all day, and he's relatively new too. So hey,
yeah, somebody
that's
has
a
a question.
fresh perspective. Fresh
Yeah,
perspective.
someone has a quick question here. Hey, what do you think about Russia stopping the gas imports through Bulgaria and Poland? For you, Nick.
I don't know much as to who buys their gas other than Germany. All I know is we have a crisis of resources contrived that comes from the war and the skirmishes that are happening on the Ukraine borders. I'm not an expert in the war there. I have Russian friends that are in the US that are pro-Russia, which is pretty surprising, right? So I don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak, as they say, but I know we're not getting the right story from any side. If you listen to this side, they tell you the one side of the story. You listen to the other side, they'll tell you the exact extreme. I listen to Al Jazeera sometimes because they're kind of like almost neutral, an Arab newspaper.
Right.
You hear something somewhere in the middle. So I'm not qualified to answer that question. Are you asking me on a particular stock or on oil in general? I told you on oil in general, I don't think we have a crisis. And here's another thing, fundamental, forget the war. Fundamentally, we're every car maker on the planet, the one that's worth anything, said they're no longer producing fossil fuel cars. So just wrap your mind around this statistic. 100 million vehicles a year will not be fossil fuel going on forward. I don't think they can do it. We don't have that many batteries. So I don't know what these car makers are doing. Do they have another technology that they're hoarding that they're not telling us about it? Because the math, they cannot be this blind, saying we're going to produce nothing but EVs, and we know we don't have enough batteries for them.
Right.
They
Nick,
must have another solution.
and we went over this stock. I think it was a couple days. I don't think it was Sunday. I don't know. But we went over it last time. It's up like 90%. You want to NUTX? Someone was talking about it in the chat, and this is really like, everybody in the community throws out tickers and Nick reviews them. So
This one?
yeah.
Wow, I don't even remember that. What about it? I mean, this is not an investment stock for me. It does have sales. It does. What is this? A biotech? Operates technology-enabled healthcare services. Okay, Clover. I don't chase stocks that rip like this unless you know the story in there and you want to invest in it for the long term. It's a trading vehicle, and even at that is just wild. We can track it. We can track it, but I don't remember talking to anybody about it. But if I was a trader, I would pull up low time frames. So I went to 1 minute immediately. Usually when we're doing this SPY, we go sub 1 minute. We go 30 seconds, 5 seconds the other day. Why? Because we see so many more ticks before the other guy sees a tick. So look, just going to the 1 minute chart, you can pick the levels that are important. Look at these mountains here. These yellow mountains are spots of importance for the market. We know they say price is truth. This, if you don't know volume profile, you should study volume profile. Look, I don't have any studies on here, very few studies. And this is one of them. This tells me where price is truth. This tells me where truth is. It tells me that 8.6 matters. It tells me that 8.7 matters most, most. And second most is 8.6, and third most is 7.3, but they're almost equal size. And here's another one for you, 10.4. That's the heaviest spot.
Right. And this, so this is just an example, right? To show everybody that, hey, you can pick any sort of stock and you'll review it live with them. And if there's action, there's action, right?
I've never seen the stock that I remember. So here would be my statement. The bears are in charge in the short term. Why? They're selling pops, pop, pop, pop. And then this pop, is it going to be sold? So this is what we call, it's in optics mode. The bulls cannot trust rallies until they break out of the channel. How? By swimming sideways out of the riptide. When does that usually happen? When it hits support. And if I look left, look at the long consolidation zone. That's the longest sideways stint they've had. Look at it. They haven't gone this long except at this level. So if somebody got long here, they're not crazy. So if you tell me, what are you going to do with this? I said, I'd get long and I stop out immediately below this. That's as simple as that. And see if they can come back to 9 or 950. And then I will exit or trim or lock or something.
Yeah,
Oh, Tesla. So first of all, what just happened? There's confusion about, oh, this is because of Twitter. I doubt it. It's probably because of production in China or something, shutdowns in China. Did they have lockdown? I don't listen to news.
Yeah. So they're China is locked down.
Okay, so maybe it's a problem with the lockdowns. I would be long. I am long. I sold a small credit put spread. What it is I took a bet saying it won't fall below X level, and I can't remember the level, 840, 835, 830. I can't remember. So I still have room to go, and I have 2 weeks to go. So I'm willing to sit in here and see what happens. If somebody has a big account, there's a foolproof way of dealing with Tesla. If you're willing to buy 100 shares, every drop like this, go out in time, way out in time, and I would sell a put that I'm willing to own way below current price. I would collect thousands. That's all I need to do. The next couple of days, things calm down. The thousands turn into a half price. I buy them back.
Right.
You don't need a rally. You just need people to just calm the hell down. This is not the old Tesla. This is a financial beast right now. It's better than GM, better than Ford at making cars. And I'm not a fan of the company. Trust me, I am not. I am a convert because of the financial statement completely changed. $12 billion in cash from operations, this guy. 12 billion. They almost went out of business in 2018 when they made fun of him.
Nick, and so here's the thing. I remember when Tesla was, well, before they split and everything, it was like 300 in the COVID crash. And, I really just, I wish I would have known how to play it at that time. And now that we're here, now that you are here, right? And, how would you trade Tesla? Would you just wait?
No, I'll tell you how we traded it in the room. You see these white lines and red lines? I didn't draw them after the fact. You can go into the chat room and scroll back, and you will find when we started bouncing, I immediately draw this. And I remember my words. I said, okay, this is the positive outcome. We're going to rally. We're going to hit resistance. And I said, I guarantee you we're going to hit resistance. We're going to fade. There's going to be a fork in the road. What are we going to do here? And then I said, if the bulls are controlled, they can do this. And then I stopped and I said, if not, they're going to come back and retest the floor, this one. And if they lose it, they're going to do this, right? And then I said that basically there is a fork in the road inside that circle. Look at where the circle was, right there. These ticks were not there when I drew it. This tick wasn't here when I drew this one. I have proof. You can go into the chat room. You'll see it. You'll see a chart that has this line and no ticks. And look how accurate this stuff was. So, okay, you said, Nick, you said up and down. Yeah, but that's not the point. I gave you the lines that will matter. So somebody that saw this chart did not get long here because he knew or she knew that there's going to be a resistance. And then the place to go long is down here with an immediate stop that, we lost this, we're going down. So if somebody was long, they knew to get out and readdress it later, which we did. I wasn't long. The drop happened. I got long somewhere here. So I didn't catch the bottom. Maybe I lose money, but I got myself in with the best possible scenario, and I don't even need a rally to win. In fact, I had an order. I didn't check if it filled. A small debit call spread, which is a $100 bet that Tesla will bounce this week. That's it. Tomorrow I can change my mind. Why? Because I saw this harmonic setup that says there's a chance slim that Tesla will be 965 or 972 this week. What? It's under 900, Nick. I said, I'm not making this stuff up. There's a chance. So price is falling, RSI somewhat trying to rally. So the internal strength is not completely demolished. So I took a flyer, $100 bet, $92 actually, to make 400 net, to turn $92 into 500. And I can change my mind tomorrow. That was Tesla. So what do we do now with Tesla? We'll take out all the lines. We'll expand to a daily chart and let's see. Okay, so if this was wrong, this was Ukraine flash crash, war, totally scary thing, appropriate response. This was wrong. Nobody should rally 100%, 50% in whatever, 13 bars, 19 days. That's crazy. This dip halfway was normal price action. This is not anymore. So this is crazy. This is crazy. It's the pendulum going back and forth. What do I know? I know that it's a bargain down here. I know it's frothy up here, right? So I can put that to work with options. If I know it's a bargain down here and Tesla already reported, I can generate income by selling risk down here. What does that mean? Instead of guessing where Tesla is going to go and buy calls or buy shares and hope for a rally, how about selling risk where I know it's not likely to go? So Tesla is not likely to be at 640 or 600, right? I can put that into money. I can make that work for me. It's a boring trade. It probably delivers 12 to 15% yield on risk without needing a rally. That is money that pays the bills a little bit at a time. It's not flashy. They're base hits. They're not home runs. They're high odds of success. Very sane way of approaching a violent market. We don't know what we don't know. What is happening? Why is the market teetering on a drop of 10, 15%? Are they messing with Powell? Are they trying to bring him to his knees? Is this the White House trying to bring him to his knees? I don't know. It's above my pay grade. All I know is I chase the lines. I know the levels that matter. I react accordingly. I don't add the risk, and I'm diligent with stopping out and managing my own risk. Today, I shared a bearish setup for protection. It costs $250, and it brings you $700, give or take. So if the markets fell, in fact, if somebody did it in the morning, they're already green. So I'm not saying these are profits, but they offset losses from other things. So if somebody has a lot of longs and they cannot bring themselves to spend a couple $100s to protect their portfolio, I mean, I don't know why not, but I waste my money. Really? You own a car, you have insurance. Do you cry about the fact that you didn't crash last month, so you wasted your money? No, you just pay your premium because you know you need to own it. Well, in this case, even better. You don't have to do it all the time, and you can give back some of the money or get back some of the money. If I bought a put spread and I feel better about it in 3 days, I'll sell it for partial gains or losses. You can't do that with car insurance. You can't say, I want to sell my policy. You bought it, you own it, use it up. Well, in this case, you buy protection, you can sell your policy and recover some of the premium, if not more, make money on it. Let's say you bought protection, stock market falls 3%, you make 20, 30%, and you say, you know what? I'm totally okay with that. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's sell the insurance, and you pocket the profits. So you can't do that in anything else, and you can't do that with stocks. Okay, so as far as styles, you don't need to do options in order to be with us, because I have people who don't trade options, who want to get into options, but they don't have the permissions. So they do equities. I have futures traders, and the conversation is the same. The levels are the same. The decisions, how you do things, are a little bit different, but the conversations are the same. Besides, when you buy shares, if you and I are having a conversation and you tell me you're long Apple, and I say, why are you long Apple? You say, I think it'll be 185 in June. I can tell you if you're wrong or right away. So in fact, I'll go to Apple. And even if you don't trade options, you have access to options data. You said June, you said 185. I'll tell you, according to the market maker, you have barely a 10% chance of that happening. What? How is that possible? I was like, hey, those are not my words. Those are the market maker's words. You go, how do you know that? I'll say, let me show you. So even if you don't trade Apple with options, you can get information about Apple with options. Here's an easy way to do it. This is an Apple options chain. I chose June, 185. The delta is 0.1. That's roughly a 10% chance. What does that mean? So look, current price is 162, 156. So current price is right here. The delta is 0.5. The delta on the put side is 0.5. That's a coin flip. The further out you go from current price, the smaller the number. So let me put that in plain simple English. What does this number mean? 0.02. That's like almost zero, right? 0.02. So this is saying there's almost no chance. There's little chance. That's what it's saying. Very little chance that Apple will be at 205 in 52 days. Very little chance. Okay, you say, I'm at 185. Okay, so there's slightly better chance, but it's tiny, tiny. Coin flip, less than a coin flip. way less than a coin flip, half of a coin flip. Half of a coin flip. You see what I mean? So your odds are dwindling. Your hopes, you better be more realistic. Maybe out in time. Maybe in September, 185 is doable. Let me see, in fact. I can tell you what are the odds in September. 22, 23%. That same number for September because you have more time on the clock. So this allows you to be realistic with your expectations. If you think you need the money before then and you think you're going to hit it, could happen. But statistically, the market makers based on today's snapshot are not expecting it. They're expecting a move about $17, $16 to $17. Check that. $18 to $19. I'm trying to do air math, splitting $18.50 or so. So that's what they're expecting, either an $18 drop or an $18 rise. That's what they're allowing the prices to go, because they price options based on where they think options are going to go. And it's in their best interest to keep price within that range. Otherwise, they lose money. They're called market makers, not because they work for a company called market makers, because they actually sell the stuff you're buying. So if they're selling a call, they're going to make sure you lose money, right? So in order to make sure that you lose money, they sell a put at the same time. So now they can win from you or from your opponent who's buying a put. So if you're wrong, they make money off of you. If the other person is wrong, they make money off of them. As long as one of you is losing, they're good. So they need price to stay within $18. That's how you use that information. When they say, oh, they are buying the, like here, there's 57,000 calls already there. What have you heard about options? Most options expire worthless, right? So why would you want to own them? You want to be selling, and you want to avoid the big ones because chances are price is going to get to them and die. They're not going to go above it because the market maker will lose. Anyway, same concept works on the put side. If you see a huge number of puts, that's support, because if most options expire worthless, price is falling, hits the puts, stops. The market maker does not want it to go beyond it, maybe a little bit and come back above it. It's support. Okay, MTTR. Matterport, what is that? MTTR. Oh, I got that right. Hot diggity. Ugh. Okay, so I think I already said that. High growth, big spend, not good. This one, no high growth, big spend, definitely not good fundamentally. I don't remember what they do. Spatial data company that focuses digitizing index, the built world. What? So is this a metaverse company? Is this a metaverse? Can be. Okay. Well, you need a bounce, friend, like ASAP. If you lose this, you have unknown risk below. It's not that I'm saying it's going to go to zero. You just don't know how low it's going to go. Versus, okay, it should bounce. It needs to bounce, but you can't sneeze. You sneeze, you're like into thin air below. So literally, there's unknown risk below. And I had a line saying, support zone if lost, new leg lower. And they're in the process of that leg lower. You're saying it went above, yes, but they didn't command it, just like Bitcoin. They went above and then they went right back below. So now you have a problem going into 8. So next time it rallies into 8, I would exit. Unless it's an investment for the long term and you know something fundamentally that's going to play out for the long term, and you have patience taking some pain in the short term, and you're thinking about getting long, leave room for error. Take half position so you can add half later. I clearly don't need that up here. Look at this. We tracked it from up here. I don't remember a thing about this. These are my lines. Look at this and this resistance. Look at where it died under my resistance. So clearly it respects the technicals. What tool is this? What tool? This all hand drawn. Oh, this guy here? This is volume profile. Oh, this thing is called TradingView. It's an online platform that allows you to chart. It's okay. It's web-based, so you can use it in a portal.
Really quick, Nick.
Huh?
The session on Sundays, someone's asking if you record them, where do you post them? That's in the chat room itself, right?
I post it in the chat room everywhere. And also, some people in the chat room have access to email. They need to set it up to where they're allowed to receive email. Otherwise, it gets lost in email hell. But yes, it's in the chat room. Everything is posted in the chat room. Before the day starts, you will get a pre-open day letter, note, I guess, newsletter, something in the middle of the day or just after. On the weekend, you get the Sunday full review. You Sunday recap with a video, Sunday table with links. Sunday night, you will get the strategy session. And you can reach me 24/7 in the chat room or during market hours and a little bit after market hours when they're reporting earnings in the live room, which is also a chat space.
Yeah, and Louis Falto says on the YouTube chat, it's difficult to explain how much we learn and how much fun we have in Nic's room every day.
Hey, Louis.
So you're cracking jokes there and everything, Nic, right?
Yeah, no, it's pretty fun. So Louis, I saw him a couple times in there today, at least more than a couple times. I had to run out because I was late for a call and I lost track of time. We went over to see the reactions to earnings, and then I was expecting a pop from Microsoft. I said maybe Microsoft and Google, of course, Google is going the wrong way. Maybe it flips by the morning. Would say, okay, the problems with Netflix were Netflix problems, and then we have the big two problems are Apple is Apple, Amazon and Facebook. So everybody's expecting a big pile of hot steaming poop from Facebook. What if it's just regular cold poop? I bet we'd rally. So it all depends on what Facebook says. We'll see. So Robinhood last earnings report delivered an absolutely terrible report. They missed on everything. They guided lower than expectations. Everything was worse. And then it rallied. I think 12% first and then another 12% in the next couple of days. So clearly, expectations, feelings is what drives the short-term reaction to the earnings, not so much the scorecard. Scorecard matters in the long term. The emotional response, the immediate response to the earnings report is emotional, not logical. Anyway, so I'm running out of energy. We've been here for almost 2 hours. You've got me for another 5 minutes or so, Rodrigo. What do you want to do?
So let's just get some closing remarks on just what your thoughts are on the market right now with everything, the Fed, everything that's happening, what you'll be doing in the chat room, right, this coming week. Because I know you have a special week.
Today, my message was respect the action. Respect the action. So regardless of what I think the markets should make another all-time high this year. I think the Fed is wrong. I think the Fed will be forced to change or not do as much bearishness as it wants to because of the political environment. The White House is not going to want to go into the elections beaten down with a bad stock market on top of it. So they're going to do something about it. I don't know what they can do. I'm not a political expert. All I know is the small caps, one more red day, we're going to 168. That's the IWM. So don't be stubborn. There's a gap down here. I have an alert. If I'm long, close longs. Sit out. Buy back down there. Don't ride it all the way down there and then double down. Book a small loss. Practice booking losses and profits faster than normal. Use rallies to get out of problem areas. I have the ABCs. So on rallies, you buy insurance. You add insurance if you need it. You book profits faster than you would normally, like in Oxy today or yesterday for me. And you close losers. If you had a loser that benefited from a pop, when it pops, you get out. Trust me. When the VIX is this high, you have to act differently than normal. So respect the price action. IWM is saying some bad things. QQQ is saying some bad things. Look at them. They cannot afford another tick. This could cost us 50 to 80 points from here. 80 points. So 320, what is that? 80 points. What is that? 240? This is fair game, not straight down, but be open to that. We don't know what we're missing. I still say up is the better way to go based on the fundamentals. Let's see what Amazon says. Let's see what Facebook says. Let's see what Apple says. If they indeed are shrinking, God help us. If any of those are shrinking in sales, the exit door, then the fundamentals will flip. So be humble, have protection if you need it. Don't add to longs. Don't take the same kind of longs. If you're long SoFi, Affirm, PayPal, and Square, you're long the same stock. Or and the small caps, you're long the same stock. Or ARK-K, you're long the same stock. Diversify. Have some oil. Short this, short that. Get long gold. Get long the TLT. Do homework. Don't be a sheeple.
Right. No, that makes sense. Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Nic Chahine. Let's go ahead and give you proper response here. Have to keep it classy. So, yeah, I just definitely want to thank you here for your time. I know you're all day there with the Inner Circle members. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, 9 to 6 p.m. and Sundays 10 a.m. Eastern till noon. So Socrates, no, there's no Spanish, but Nick can work with you, right?
Yeah. No, I can read Spanish. Hold on. Muy bueno, pero no hay en español. Yo comprende un poquito, me no sabe hablar o escribir muy bien, but I can learn. I'm fluent in French. I'm French educated, so I can dabble in Spanish. If you type it, I can figure it out.
That's great. I mean, maybe you can learn something and everybody can learn from it's more than just an options chat room. There's magic happening there. Absolutely. I could see it every day, Nick.
Yeah, I can speak to you in Arabic and French and English, and I can understand you in Spanish, but I won't converse with you in Spanish without practice.
All right. Well,
out of here.
All right. Thank you, Nick, very much, man. Appreciate your time. I'll see you in the chat room. Thanks for helping all these people out, helping Doc, Lewis, Mary.
I wonder if my buddy is going to join. I don't think so. Bye.
All right. So there you go, guys. Nic Chahine. And what I'm showing you is the live trading room right now. You can't see. Well, this is what you're seeing because typically Nick is here during the day and he's going to share his screen. So so you pretty much are with him the whole day. It's like a webinar style kind of thing. Dion in the YouTube chat. Where's the chat at? The link is in the chat. The link to join is in the chat. In the YouTube chat, we're posting the link. So in the chat, we're posting the link to join the chat. Sophie, yeah, you would have to join the Inner Circle chat. There's a 7-day money back guarantee period. So I really think that if your P&L is not looking good, if it could look better, if there's improvements that you think you can make, and hey, we have to be realistic, right? Put the egos aside. Maybe it's time to do that, right? And try something that, is helping all these traders. And you're going to be with Nick all day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then on Sunday. There's no way that you don't learn something. And this is for a whole year. It's going to renew at the same price as well. So good question there. All right, guys. So this is the live screen, the live trading that Nick is doing. You're going to see his screen when he's there. There's a chat on the left side. We got Joe Lynch in the house. My brother, I know. Doc is in the house. Yeah, we got I mean, I recognize all these people. I'm in this chat room. I mean, obviously I'm busy working, but I'm trying to be in the chat room as much as I can always because it's there all day. And something's happening right now with earnings or whatever. You just pop in, you ask a question right here, you type something, and Nick will answer it live, right? And you can also send him a private message. So how do you do that? You click on somebody. So this person, Alice123, I can do say private message, and then I could assuming this is Nick, right? You can be like, hey Nick, I need such and such. So yeah, you have all of that available, guys. You have that chat room, you have that screen with everybody, and that's all day, right? This is the main chat room. This is a separate chat room. This is where you're going to see the trade alerts that are a little bit more longer term, 2, 3, 4 months out, We're talking credit put spreads here, for the most part. But Nick will post other stuff. So, Costco, Netflix, um, BX, UAL, DWAC. I mean, he's been on fire recently. This has been a great week in the chat room. I'm gonna be honest. Mary Trades can testify to that. Um, so now, this blue chat room, you can go to settings here if you want to change your name there, right? Passwords, all that stuff. Put your picture there. And then you click on chat, and basically you see that there are two chat rooms. It's two channels. One of them is the inner circle chat. That's where everybody is, all the members, including Nick. And then you have the other chat room that's called Nick's important messages. And this is where only Nick can post. So you're gonna see something like this every morning, 8:30 a.m. Like never misses. And you have a plan for the day. You have an update for the day, right? And you have a couple of links here. Okay, very important to know what is what here, because this is going to be your guide for the rest of the day. For everybody that joined, this is what you got to do. Okay, so live session. This is where you're going to be with Nick live the whole day. If you click this link, it's going to take you to this place that I'm showing you now. This is the live trading. That's all day, Monday, Friday, 9 to 5, all that stuff. Then you have all of the indexes charted, right? So SPY, Qs, IWM, futures. There's we have futures traders there. So I'm just going to go over to the Qs and see what are his charts with his notes, right? I mean, you have all the levels in plain sight. So, and we have a couple questions there on the YouTube. So let's go ahead. Doc says it's like the movie Inception, a chat within a chat. Yeah. So here's the thing, man. It gets even deeper. It gets even deeper because we're posting the link to join the chat in a chat, but we have inside this chat, inside the blue chat, you got to click here for the live session, and it takes you to another chat, which is here. All right. So there's definitely a lot of chats here. And this is more live, people that are more active, people that are doing the day to day. Rightfully so. I mean, Nick is sharing his screens and going over this with you like the whole day. So we were looking at the Qs here, right? And keep in mind, you're looking at these charts when Nick will post that at 8:30 in the morning. You will talk about this throughout the whole day. If you feel if I trade the Qs, which I do, I would ask him about the Qs. That's simple, right? At any point during the day, if I have a couple of minutes, I just pop in there and ask the question. Tonka, are there alerts with the membership? So the trades that are longer term are always posted here. And you do have sound alerts here. So you do have alerts. If you see that bell, that yellow bell there, that means that there's going to be a sound notification when you have it open. Something I do is I click on this thing on this button, and I just make the chat room for my whole page, which is what you're seeing here, right? And I have it always on the side because I have multiple screens when I work and stuff. So I always have a chat room that's open. I always have like at least one or two things. I have my tools, and the chat room is really more than a tool because it's a community, and it's better. You have like 300 people, and they're all using different things, looking at different things in the market. And when you collaborate together, it's like, it's like a huge firm, like a huge, like bunch of traders helping each other out. It doesn't matter if you're new, there's a lot of people that are advanced there that help new people out. It's that sort of environment where we encourage that sort of environment as well. We have some people that have been there, have done been successful with it, and they help the new members, right? And hey, you joined a great community, you made some money, you made some friends, and now you just want the community to get better and bigger. So I remember when we started this like a year ago, and now there's a lot of people in there. It's fun. It's great to see what it's become, and good stuff, Mary. So Nick sends emails for trade strategies throughout the day. If you think something is important, that's correct, Doc. So Doc is saying that he made his membership back. This is in the YouTube chat. You guys, I mean, Doc is, he's a real person, right? So Doc says, I made my membership back plus in the first week. I'm not BSing you. I've been trading for 2 years, but something clicked the first week. That's really good, man. I'm really happy to hear that, Doc. I'm glad that, you made the subscription back in a week because people ask me that question and it's really hard for me to give them like an answer, but everybody will have different results. Obviously, I mean, if if you're a little bit more risky and if you're doing more risky trades and you're not following the, Nick's rules, of course, then hey, you could get sidetracked. Absolutely. But if you stick to the guidelines, to the plan, the strategy, how to trade it, be responsible, um, proper strategy and planning, then you're going to start seeing a difference. And you're trading with somebody that's really good at this, somebody that's been doing this for like 20 plus years. And if you're new, it's so great to have that because I mean you're paying for 20 years of experience of somebody who's really good at this, and you're paying them to coach you basically, right? And you're talking about Monday to Friday, nine to five. I mean, do the math. It's like 3,000 hours a year. You're paying pennies on the dollar. So Doc, absolutely. So it's great to see that, Doc. It's great to see that in a week. So I mean, it's hard for me to tell people, yeah, you're gonna make your money back in a week. I have no way of knowing that. But some people make it in a week, some people make it in a couple days. If you joined last week and you got that Netflix trade, those puts that went up like thousands of percent, like you could have literally gotten like decades, paid for decades of your chat room, like a whole decade, 2 decades, lifetime, whatever. Um, Absolutely, Zen. So, okay, so this is typically how I have the chat room, right? Just wanted to show you that. And this is where you put the sound controls if you do want to, uh, you know, put those sound notifications right there. Make sure those bells are yellow, otherwise they're going to look like that, right? Okay, now the other thing I want to tell you guys, we have a Benzinga proprietary scanner here. Um, and it scans for certain things, certain stocks, and you don't have to do anything. It's automatically, it refreshes like every 15 minutes, up to not every 15 minutes, but the quotes are delayed up to 15 minutes. But every day you're gonna get a whole new batch of I'm not gonna say trade recommendations, but these are like, hey, take a look at this, like trade the volatility, EVOK. I don't know what this is. It's pharma. So I have a chart next to it, so I can just click this, right? And see what is going on here. Let's do 30-minute chart. So I'm not sure what's going on with this company, but volatility is really what you want. Either way, up or down. Not X, VNAR, CYN. I've seen that ticker before. Let's see what's going on here. Damn. What is going on here? This has always been a penny. Not sure what's going on here. Let's see. This might be interesting. I mean, you find stuff here, and you can bring them to the chat room. If anybody knows about the stock, let me know. But yeah, guys, this deal expires at midnight. Don't wait to talk to me on the phone because we might be here for a little bit longer. So you have a 7-day money back guarantee. We can talk tomorrow. That's fine. But I want to see what's going on here with this company, with CYN. Development of autonomous driving software that can be deployed. Okay, all right. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure why it's moving. But you can pretty much start, you can get good trade ideas here, maybe to go long or maybe to go short. That was an interesting one, CYN. I've seen that one before. GovX. Yeah, I mean, you'll see DWAC, up 14%. Really? Okay. So I mean, really, this is really a good way to kind of see, hey, what's happening in the markets, so that you can kind of get a sense of, hey, these stocks are going up, or such and such is happening. Yeah. So Doc says I ran into a wall and couldn't figure out why I kept losing. Nick's outlook on the market just like gave me fresh insight. I know it sounds cheesy, but legit. Doc, I mean, everybody's story is different, so it's not about being cheesy or not, but that's just how, it is, how it was. And I'm glad that you were able to turn around and, have such good results with Nick. And a lot of people out there have good results too, but not everybody says it. They're just good doing their own thing, making money, and hey, that's fine, right? But you know, people like Doc who come out and actually, you know, let you guys know, right? Like actual members letting you guys know. I think that pretty much speaks for itself. But you guys have a 7-day money back guarantee if you want to try it as well. If you still don't, you know, um, so you can actually go ahead and try it. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. You know, you get your money back. Literally, we are the only ones that are losing money on processing fees when we do that. So I would try it, at least if I were you, right? 7-day money back guarantee. Um, yeah, so everybody, Rahul, yeah, so everybody, if you're a student, everybody is getting the special today, which is the 70% off with the free laptop. And that's until midnight. You have to, if you know, if there's any exceptions or something, just make sure to email. But this is until midnight. I think the price is gonna go up to like 2,500 or something like that. Um, next month. Okay, so Tonka says you have your cash tied up in earnings until Thursday. Well, look, man, this is at least there's a 7-day money back guarantee in this, right? The market does not give you a money back guarantee, so just keep that there. You can use that some, but you know, Tonka, let's see what tomorrow brings. Are y'all on here tomorrow? I don't know. I think so. Maybe 5 p.m. Maybe I think so. Um, Okay, so we showed you everything, right? We showed you the charts, the scanner. We showed you this other chat room, right? We showed you the other chat room, which is the live one, live screen sharing chat room. This is where Nick is talking. He's talking, he's answering in text. He's doing everything. He's there with you. It's like you're in a trading office with Nick all day, pretty much. And it's like if you have a question, you can even talk here. You got a microphone, you know, you can turn on your camera if you want. Nobody does that obviously here, like from what I'm seeing, but we got Benzinga in the house. What's up? Art J. We got Dwight, Freddie. I don't know what 65 people in this chat room, and Nick is not there. So I mean they're just hanging out, I guess. But so that's the live screen, the live trading when it's like day to day, minute to minute, like scalping, day trading. This is for you. This is where you want to be, right? If you are a little bit more on the longer term side, where it's like you want trades that you know 2, 3, 4, 5 months out, credit put spreads or something like that, a little bit more far out, where you don't have to worry about the tick to tick. It's more of like you know, I call it the CEO trade, right? Because it's like you're busy, you got a lot of stuff going on, it's intensive. So it's really, you know, Nick calls it the slowpoke trade, but you know, it's really more for the busy person, you know, and this is really from you guys that you tell me, right? Like, you know, people that are busy, that you're running, you know, a company or different or companies and or you have a very intense job and you know, but you want to make more money with trading, right? Because you're getting money and it's just sitting there and you're losing 8, 9% on inflation. And that's, you know, so you want to at least not be losing money, right? You just because right now, if you just have money sitting in a bank, you're like it's losing value, right? So that's really interesting as well. Tonka, I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you in the chat room when you join there too. All right. So Rahul, you're gonna get the same discount. Pretty much everybody gets the whole discount, the 70% off. And the trades that are for people that are, I don't want to say laid back, but you know, you have other stuff going on, but you still want to make, you know, a solid 20, 30%. Nick will post trade ideas like this Costco, you know, right now. Something about BX, UAL, DWAC. So he's constantly posting videos. This one's about, so you will find a video here, very important. This is Sunday's session, okay? It's like 2 hours. So every Sunday you meet with Nick from 10 a.m. Eastern to noon, and you go over hundreds of stocks. You guys pick the stocks. This is the video, the recording's there.
All right. So
Okay. So you have that, right? If you want to watch it, all you guys that just joined, just make sure that you watch that recording, preferably be there live, right? Because it's not pre-recorded. Like you are there live with him in the chat. All right. So that's what I want to make sure that you guys kind of see. Send Bullish says Nic Chahine, the lean mean options money making machine. I've never seen this level of due diligence, dedication, market knowledge, and commitment to students in anyone before. Yeah, Nick is pretty committed. Yeah, I mean overall, like Benzinga, we are all committed here to helping you guys. Um, he's a robot. Yeah, Nick is a robot. He's not a real person. We just dress him up like a person, but he's a robot. Um, Okay, guys. So we've had some fun here, right? We've gone over a lot of stocks. I showed you the whole chat room. I don't know if anybody has any questions about the chat room, or if anybody has any, other things that you guys want to cover before. I did want to show you guys a couple videos as well. Let me just close this. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to show you right now. Can you guys see the screen there in the chat? Because I have it full screen, but I think it doesn't work when I have it full screen. So Amazon levels.
Hey traders, Nick here. After hours on Tuesday fortnight.
These are, just so you know, this video we're watching right now, this is obviously member only, but this is a video from Nick that he sent out to members, right?
19. You're looking at the disaster that is Netflix. This video is not about Netflix, but I'll start there with a PSA. First of all,
okay, and this was April 19th, so this was really, that's not from today. So keep in mind, right? This was from the Sunday session, right? From the Sunday session. Let's see if we can get in there. So this is about
hey
market
traders,
update.
it is Sunday
Let's watch this and see what we can find here in this video.
night here, about 7 o'clock. So it's about 10 o'clock Eastern. Maybe you don't see this until tomorrow, Monday. So we are coming after a tough week. So let's recap what happened. We had a 5.5% drop in the S&P in about 2 sessions of 8 hours each. On Thursday morning, we opened fine, and then we just fell off a cliff in a straight shot, these two candles. So if you look at the 15-minute, it's a systemic sell-off. So here's my reflection on it. First of all, this could be the Netflix effect. So margin calls, the drop was substantial. A stock this widely held, getting cut in half basically, forces selling in other stuff. So if there's a big companies who have that as a component, now they have to sell everything else to cover the margin calls. Because if they borrowed to buy the stock, suddenly the asset against which they borrowed is half as much. Therefore, they need to bring cash to cover the difference. The broker is not going to hold that loss. So they're forced to sell everything and whatever they can. So they sell the good stuff too in order to raise. This is one explanation of it. The other one is that maybe they scared everybody crapless going into this week. Why? Well, take a look. We have almost maybe 35% of the whole S&P reporting in 1 week. That's just craziness. We start with Coke, then we have Microsoft and Google, tiny company, you've heard of it. We have Visa, other influential ones like Chipotle. We have Boeing, we have Facebook, PayPal. Please say something, PayPal. What is happening? Amazon, yikes. And then we have the Chevron and Exxon. Where is Chevron? Somewhere here. Exxon is right there. Could it be that Chevron and Exxon not on the same day? Usually they are. Okay, maybe Chevron is on Monday. All right, so clearly we have big companies, infrastructure companies. We have airlines, MasterCard. So we have financial technology. We have little guys that are doing well, like Pinterest. Are they all going to say something like Netflix? So was Netflix a canary in the coal mine, or did they just mess up? If they messed up and it's contained to Netflix, we will have a relief rally. So how could it unfold? Maybe these two guys will tell us something. Wait, that was Netflix's problem. So we get a relief rally. If this happens, book your profits, fix your trades. I don't know if it's going to hold because there's talk that this guy, Facebook, could be a disaster. Maybe enough of people talking about it as a disaster, it comes out bad and it's not so bad in retrospect. So have they priced in a disaster and it doesn't come up, a disaster comes up bad? Bad is okay, disaster is not. So kind of like what happened to Robinhood last earnings. The report was horrific, but they must have been expecting something more horrific because the stock rallies 25%. So it's all about expectations. Did Netflix bring down the expectations low enough that we have a low hurdle to jump over this week? If not, well, there is a level that could, if we breach support, we could just slippery slide lower. And it would be catchable knife, but after the fact. So again, let's recap. The week was bad, pretty bad, most likely because of Netflix. And the Fed, of course, is talking crazy. They're absolutely talking crazy. So maybe the Netflix effect took 2 days. Usually they say there are 3 days. I think we've had 3 days since the earnings to cover the margins. Maybe that's gone. So the Netflix effect, is that real, specific to Netflix, or system-wide? Will Alphabet show? Will Facebook show a huge drop in usage metrics, or earnings, or sales? Will they miss anything major? Will they shrink, like Netflix shrunk in subscribership? Let's see if Facebook shrinks in something. I don't know. So Netflix effect, is it transferable to other ones? Microsoft, I think it's probably firing on all cylinders, so maybe it doesn't say a bad story. We'll see. All right, so what did we learn also from last week? Anything is possible. If Netflix can get cut in half, basically, expect the unexpected. Don't assume anything. Don't sell iron condors into earnings. Nothing's safe. If I wanted to play the earnings, I should admit to myself that I don't know the outcome. It's a coin flip. It's better to do the trade after the earnings when you have information. Like, how much easier is it to trade Netflix now as opposed to deal with the problem? Okay, so this is the big picture. Was it Netflix or wasn't it? And if it was Netflix, did it paint a bad enough picture that it lowered the bar? If it lowered the bar, we could have a relief rally. What do we do with the relief rally? We don't assume it continues. We book profits faster. We fix trades that get repaired, and we buy insurance if we need it. Simple as that. So again, this is what's going on. Another thing that's going on is we have the GDP. We have a whole bunch of information about the US economy coming out. Most importantly, GDP. If it comes out super weak, maybe we get a relief rally because maybe the Fed doesn't need to poison us as much as they thought. If GDP is already negative or shrinking or something, we need 2 of those, and then we officially have a recession. All right. We also have the ECB, which is the European Fed, the central bank in Europe. They have like 16,000 of them talking. They also have their own GDP results and some inflation numbers. So we could have a move in the dollar as well. Okay, so this is the big picture. Was it Netflix? Wasn't it not? Did I say that right? Anyway, so let's look at the S&P. On the daily chart, the Fed decision 6 weeks ago, 11% rally, 1 red tick. Remember that? Okay. Right around here, a warning sign came up from this red W. It had target of 436 and 426. When we mentioned them, we thought it was impossible, but there it is. 436, bounced, 426.
All right, everybody. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what we're doing there. Now, keep in mind, there are other trade setups here. I didn't show you, but there's more stuff here. Something about BX, UAL, and DWAC. Then you have Netflix, Costco, and you have all the charts always posted, right, for the indexes. And I use that to trade options, to day trade options. So that's really all I need. I get the levels from Nick in the morning. and I trade with that. So I trade the cues. That's where I buy calls or puts, and this is pretty much how I start my day, right? Of thinking like where I think things will play out, how they will play out. So again, there's a lot of people that trade the SPY. Yeah, this is live. Um, yeah, you can use the link to join, Jerry. Um, I know you've been here in the sessions before. I think I remember you. But yeah, use that link. You can join there, man. And so yeah, this is what I use to trade the indexes because that's I buy calls on or puts on the cues. So I use this as a to kind of get a feel of what's happening. So a lot of people do this not just for the cues, but they also do it for SPY. So you do have that there, and all the people that trade small caps too. And I know several people that are trading futures that they love futures, and they have full charts for the futures as well. So just a quick recap, guys, before we shut off here. What you guys are getting today, if you do join, it expires at midnight. 7-day money back guarantee. You get the Benzinga options inner circle chat room, which is Monday to Friday, 9 to 6 p.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to noon. So you're pretty much the entire day there with Nick. There's really there's no way you don't learn anything or get anything out of it. It's for a whole year. You'll be with him the entire week and the weekends, right? You get special sessions, bonuses, trade ideas, strategies, full like you're there with him the whole day. So you can make it whatever you want. If you just want to learn, you can do that. If you want to be like trading partner, it's that as well. So you can make it whatever it needs to be for you, right? And and everybody that joins will get a free laptop as well. I don't think I'm missing anything. There's also a free gift. Anybody that joins will get a free hookup from me. It's $400. They won't pay for it. I'm hooking you guys up. It's free just because, as long as you have the chat room, you'll have that for free. This is my gift to you guys. So thanks a lot for being here. Shout out to everybody there in the chat. Doc, great to hear that you've been doing good. Good. You made your subscription back in a week. I'm really happy for you that things turned around with your trading. I love hearing about those kind of stories, man. Shout out to Doc. Let's go. And then we have Jerry asking, Jerry, let me put the email here in the chat. All right. So links in the chat. The link to join the chat is in the chat, and the contact as well. So if you guys want to reach out, you can call me, you can email me. It's fine. And we can see, how this can help you or benefit you. If you do want to talk to an actual person, it's crazy. You have companies like, I'm not going to say names, but you have big companies that like, they bring in billions of dollars and they don't even have a person to answer the phone. It's crazy. So we do focus on getting to know our users. That's really kind of our flagship approach to helping all of our users, kind of help them in the path towards success, right? As much as we can. So shout out to everybody there, Doc. Good to see you here, brother. And thanks for joining here, guys. We'll see you. We'll see you in the chat room tomorrow because there's a lot of stuff that we're trading. I know Nick is posting something tonight, I think, or tomorrow morning. So yeah, just reach out if you have questions. Again, free laptop, 1 full year, 70% off, same price at renewal next year. And you get a $400 gift, $400 value, okay, gift from me to you if you join. So thanks for being here, guys, and we'll see you in the chat room tomorrow.